Hi, I'm sorry I'm late, but I ran into Jean here. Oh, Jean, this is Ed Beard, the Ed I was telling you about. Hello.
How do you do?
And this is Jack Connors. Jean Bassett from over at Morrisville.
How do you do, Jean?
Hello.
Here, you can sit here.
Thank you.
Would you like something? A malt or a soda?
A malt, I think.
A well-mannered group, aren't they? You notice their good manners right away. Good manners make good first impressions. And because your manners are showing all the time, they have a lot to do with how well people like you. We've noticed Jack's manners because, well, they seem easy and natural. Of course, he does have a special reason for good manners right now. But good manners are comfortable and natural and easy for him now because they're with him all day. All day? Well, let's see.
Morning, everybody.
Morning, Jack.
Morning.
Morning, Jack.
Hi.
Morning, dear.
See, a cheerful good morning is a good way to start the day. Good manners will help toward a pleasant, happy day. And home is a good place to practice them.
Some eggs, Dad?
Thanks.
May I have some toast, please?
Yes, dear.
Thank you.
May I? Please? Thank you. These are words of respect. Words that make day-to-day living go smoothly.
Oh, Jack, do you think I could borrow that portable radio of yours for the picnic tomorrow? Please?
Asking to borrow things politely, not demanding them.
All right.
And sharing things when you can are more signs of good manners.
It's about time to get out the storm windows and check them over. How about tonight, Jack?
Gee, I'm sorry, Dad. I have a date tonight. Would tomorrow be all right?
Sure. Just make sure.
Yes, even when you have to go against another's wishes, you can do it agreeably. Being agreeable, saying and doing things in a pleasant way, that's easy enough. And it does make a difference all day long.
Ready?
Yeah, just a second. I'll put my jacket on here. Oh, excuse me. I'll get it.
Excuse me, Jack's good manners are showing again.
Jack Connor speaking.
It's helpful to give your name when you answer.
Well, Mr. Moore, I'm sorry. My father just left for the plant a few minutes ago. May I take a message?
Oh.
Ask him to call me when he comes in tonight.
Yes, I will.
Thank you very much.
I'll tell him. All right, sir. Goodbye.
You can be direct and brief on the phone, say what you have to say, and then stop. For on the phone, too, your manners are showing.
Ready to go?
Waiting for you.
We're going, Mom. Goodbye.
Bye. Oh, bye, Jack. Bye, sis.
See you after school.
Right.
When Jack leaves the house with a lady, it's ladies first. Yes, even with his sister. For on the street, as much as at home, your manners are showing. It's a simple enough matter to give people you meet plenty of room to pass. Good manners again, and they put you in a good light.
Hi.
How are you? Well, hi, Mary.
Hi. Morning.
How are you? We've missed you.
I'm fine now. No more tonsils, please.
Oh, that's right. You had him out, didn't
A
you?
cheerful greeting for friends you meet, an inquiry about their welfare, and everyone feels more at ease. That's what good manners do. They make everyone feel at ease. What about manners when the bus comes? That's right, of course. Ladies first, and no shoving or pushing.
Especially if you're throwing someone under the bus, right? Like, ladies
Inside the
first.
bus, you can enjoy the ride and let others enjoy it.
Nobody
Or you
does
can-
answer the phone anymore.
well,
You're
look
right, Finn.
around.
Absolutely. People do not want to answer the phone. They just want to text.
Perhaps the less said about this kind of manners, the better. And this kind.
Her hair
manners are
settings are
showing.
flying everywhere.
And it's good manners that make a good impression.
Mm. In the back of the bus, no doubt.
Now, about getting off the bus. Should Jack get off first? Yes, he can give the ladies a hand. And girls, let the men help. They enjoy it.
Let
And
the men
no
help.
loafing around. Being on time is good manners, too.
Can you carry my books? I surely don't know what to do without you.
Are your manners showing when you're in class? Let's see. There's Jack giving the teacher his best attention.
Hmm.
Good manners again.
Eye contact, but
Now,
not
in order
too
to
creepy eye
understand
contact.
Anglo-Saxon England, we must go back many, many years.
Betty, did I tell you the latest
Hmm.
Jan told me?
This kind of manners
Yeah.
shows, too.
I went to the
It's
party.
one way to impress the teacher.
All right, we'll continue our discussion now. We're talking about Queen Elizabeth and the coronation. All right, class dismissed.
Say, I noticed you're new in class. I'm Jack Connors.
Hi, Jack. My name's Fred Johnson. Glad to know you.
All right, Fred. See, I thought we might walk around the school here and
Introducing yourself to a new classmate is good manners and easy.
Jack? Say, have you seen the new school paper?
No.
Well, here, you can borrow mine. My sister has one I can use.
An offer of help,
Swell.
willingness to share, and your good manners help make friends for you.
And there's some plays coming up.
Walking slowly, keeping to the right. More good manners.
Got some nice pictures in there.
Oh, I'll get them.
Can I give you a hand?
No, that's all right.
She'll remember good manners, and that makes Jack rate high with her.
We never had anything like this at our old school.
62 IQ, your hair will grow just fine.
After school, when it's time for fun, when it's so easy to forget about manners, what about then? Yes, your manners are showing then, too. What are good manners when you're driving? Obeying all the traffic laws. Yes, but more than that.
Run him over. Oh,
You can wait for someone to get across the street, even if you do have the right-of-way. You can drive as quietly as possible. No hanging on the horn or loose mufflers. There are good manners for driving, aren't there? Your manners show in the things you do, in the clothes you wear.
Sis, you're not going yet, are you?
Pretty soon, Jack. Mary's due any minute now.
hmm.
Well, here's the portable you... Pardon me, sis, but you aren't... Do you think you should go to a picnic dressed like that?
Picnic?
Pardon me, sis,
Oh,
but you're a
picnic
whore.
tomorrow.
Oh, I guess I misunderstood you this morning.
Oh,
I'll put
God.
the radio in your room.
Thanks. Oh, Jack, I am going to a concert tonight. Do you think I look all right?
For a concert? Terrific. Wait a second.
Yes, your manners are showing all day long.
Mm.
You may not know it, but all along the way, your manners leave their mark. At home,
Jack is so kind and thoughtful. It's nice to have him come to breakfast dressed and cheerful.
As opposed to undressed and
on
grumpy.
the telephone,
That message will be delivered. Fine boy, that Jack Connors. Helpful.
on the street,
There's a pleasant, well-mannered group of young people, not like some.
What is she wearing? I guess this is like the Swedish outfit or
everywhere
something.
you go, your manners are with you, and they leave their mark. They help you feel sure of yourself, too, and they make an impression on people. on everyone you meet. We could listen in on Gene's thoughts, for example, but, well, you take it from here.
So I think it happens to be bad manners listening to people's thoughts. No one talked about that. God. Oh God. Yeah, that was dark times back then for sure. Like, yeah. Mind your manners, huh? Like, yeah, yeah. Part of the humor I find in the 50s stuff is well, some of them have been like 1940s, but like some of these things they're just so pedantic, sometimes meaningless. Like it's really funny because like it's like mind your manners for very like surface level things and nothing ever actually that addresses any real problems. Just like current feelings. So kind of cracks me up. Oh man, manners with ball gag. Wow, that's interesting. Well, this is an open hangout, and usually if I build it, people come. But if not, that's cool too. I can torture you with more 1950s videos, or we can talk in general. Um, Hans Moist Nipples was recently blocked on Twitter. He'll tell you all about it. I'm sure he's blocked often. It's not because he's actual troll. It's because he's punny. Let's see here. Zebra, I don't need to be overly mattered. I'm a delight. Yes, indeed. Big Zebra hangs out with Madison, Richard Madison, and they have Bible talk sometimes. It's very interesting. It is always like a well-mannered dinner, and y'all behave yourselves very nicely. And so I've listened in a couple times, and it's quite nice. So the meaning of the video is it's really meaningless. So it just, for some reason, it reminded me of a scene. Actually, I might be able to even show it to you. I'm sure like it's not monetized, so like fuck it, right? Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I'll show you what it's from. Let's see. Is it not there? Can I not find it? Can I not find the clip? Oh. That's things adults notice. I see that the scene I'm looking for is in that, but it's not. I'm looking real quick. I should have found it. Let me see here.
Surrender to me. Very well, accept.
All right. I found it. Here it is.
Surrender. You mean wish to surrender to me? Very well, accept.
I give you full marks for bravery. Don't make yourself a fool.
Ah, but how will you capture us? We know the secrets of the fire swamp. We can live there quite happily for some time, so whenever you feel like dying, feel free to visit.
I tell you what, surrender.
Will not happen.
For the last time, surrender!
Death first! And then she says, to stop it all, she says, do you promise not to hurt him? And he goes, what was that? And the other guy goes, what was that? And then he's taken to the pit of despair. And that is the meaning of my line here. So that being said, I wanted to talk about things like internet honor. So if anybody wants to come in, we can discuss this. I don't know if anybody's noticed the swag that happens in chats where someone goes, join me, for your internet honor. Recently, there was a guy named Negs, Negz, not negative exponent. Need to be clear, two very different individuals. Negs dared Jules to go into his live chat, throws the live chat link out like I'm about ready to do right now, because this is an open hangout. If you'd like to chat, you can join. Throws the link out and says, "Join me, Jules. I'll stop everything." She has exactly 2 seconds to join. If she doesn't join, it's taken away and then she's blocked. And that's exactly what happened. It was taken away. It was blocked. It was like this little game of like, join me to defend your internet honor. And so you see these things happen, like, and it's from these lulzy people like him to anywhere from that to Steve McRae, for the internet honor. And they do like this weird battle. And it's like, I imagine sort of like in the Looney Tunes where uh, uh, Bugs Bunny, takes his little gloves out, suddenly has white gloves, and he whacks the person on the face, challenge them to the duel. And it's like, you, sir, will meet me at noon, and it's like Alexander Hamilton shit or something. I don't know. But yeah, there's like this weird thing where it's like, debate me, bro, or meet me and face off in this hangout, and it's for the internet honor. And then they'll maybe block and bubble up and then say that they have internet honor and they are astronomically ethical and honorable, while they block and bubble up and stuff. And it's this weird game. We also see like G-Man doing this with who is it? There was this Miss Star. Miss Star and G-Man circle each other all the time. Meet me outside kind of thing. They're like, meet me in this hangout. Meet me in this hangout. And then all of a sudden, like, Miss Star will be like, I don't know how to work hangouts. I don't know how to do this, even though she's been shown. And then G-Man will be like, I don't have my laptop. I only have my mobile phone. And they never actually meet in the hangout to have like this one-on-one face-off that they're just so brave about having. And you kind of see that. So fast forward, you see that with Unirock and Chesh. It's like, meet me outside, meet me in the hangout. And then Cheshire's like, I can't. I suddenly can't. I need to be in your main Discord. I can't be in like any sub Discord. I have to be in your main Discord, Uni. Uni's like, just jump in this Discord. It's perfectly fine. No. You told me to contact your mods. No, and they're playing this little game, and it's like, okay, and like no one actually follows through with the challenge of meet me in the hangout. So I don't plan on being confrontive or anything like that. It's one of those funny observations that I've noticed. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it's hilarious when you see this and you see them circling each other around, and they're just like, you won't face me, will you? You're such a coward. And then they block you and stuff, and you're just like, okay, that's all right, whatever. So Blocklist approves I have internet honor. Yes, lots of internet honor. In fact, 300 people's worth of internet honor is on that Blocklist. Let's see here. Cash me outside. Okay. So it is the middle of the day, so it is always a risk to just like spring up an open hangout and be like, if you build it, they will come. Sometimes that's the case, sometimes that's not. So if nobody comes in, I guess I can watch something and entertain myself that way. Though I love talking to the lovely chat. It's always pretty great. Where's Billy? Did you know Billy's my brother? Where did he go? I keep telling Billy to shave off his beard for charity, but he won't listen to me. I don't know. He thinks that he'll be made fun of like Cheshire's haircut. I don't know. I think I got on the list. Nar, what did you do to get on the list? What? Oh man, yeah. What was it? It was G-Man that said, "Catch these hands to drag," and us. It was like one of those double takes of like he said that. Like, do I have shirts from other houses? No, because I'm a Hufflepuff. Why would I be hoarding other shirts? I'm Team Hufflepuff, and people think it's because I like that guy from Twilight, but that's not the case. I don't like Robert Patterson. It's a house I sorted to, And also, Hufflepuff is where Nymphadora Tonks is at, and she's one of my favorite characters in Harry Potter. She's the shapeshifter and the fun one and the rock and roll one. And she hooked up with Lupin. Lupin's pretty cool too. So like, yeah, I'm Hufflepuff all the way, man. I think they're underrepresented. They got a badger symbol, so that works because I'm comfortable shoes badger, and also yeah. Oh, speaking of Hufflepuff, I have a funny video. This one's funny. Oh my gosh. Ethan's a Hufflepuff too. See, we're the next best house. Like everybody, expects us. But we have Cedric Diggory. He was an honorable, astronomically honorable kid, and who died in the maze and was murdered by Voldemort. And then we got Nymphadora Tonks, who also died in battle. Spoiler alert. But also like really good characters, man. So yeah. Ravenclaw is the brilliant one, right? Like they're the smart ones. Ravenclaw is the one I'd like to be, but I'm not actually. So I wish I was smart enough to be a Ravenclaw, but really I'm a Hufflepuff. But I do have a funny Hufflepuff video. And I just remembered it, and I think you guys will get a kick out of it. It's absolutely funny. And if you've seen this before, I am sorry. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, yes. Okay. All right. This is so nerdy and hilarious at the same time. It's really cute if you can bear with me and nerd out for a second. I know that J.K. Rowling's is on the hate list for LGBTQ community. I like the books. What can I say? I also like Lovecraft, and Lovecraft is fucked up in his personal life, like fucked up ideas. So I always take art with a grain of salt, sort the good from the bad, throw out the bad, So that being said, I'm going to show Hogwarts.
I'm really brave. I'm a Gryffindor.
I'm ambitious. I'm a Slytherin.
I'm really smart. I'm a Ravenclaw. I'm a Hufflepuff.
You need to say something first? Just say what your thing is.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
Whatever your house is about.
I'm a Hufflepuff. I can't digest lactose. I'm a Hufflepuff.
That's not a skill.
Who has 2 thumbs and is a Hufflepuff? I'm a Hufflepuff.
Ugh, you can't even tell a joke right.
My name is sewn into all of my clothes.
Really?
One time, I found the room of requirement. It was just full of mouthwash.
I can touch my tongue to my nose.
Oh, come on.
I'm afraid of ghosts.
And sheets with holes in them. And regular sheets. One time I saw a bird.
Ugh.
One time I opened a jar up all by myself. I cut my hand up real bad.
I cut my hand up real bad.
Hufflepuff.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
There we go. And that's all you need to know about Hufflepuff right there. Nothing else. No, they have some cool characters. So I'm adding to the stream Jason Guacamole. Jason Guacamole, can you say hi to me?
Hello.
Hey. So I don't
What's
know
going on?
you. I don't know you, so I'm gonna keep you behind a little bit till we
That's fair
decide
enough.
who you are. So
I don't
what
need to be showing everyone my avocados.
Well, right. So there is an exposed avocado on the screen. so there's that. But welcome aboard. I think this is the first time I've heard your voice. I've seen you about in chat.
I don't go on very many streams. I'm just bored today.
You're just bored. Okay, got it. So are you a big Rev News fan?
Always. I think he copied my logo. It looks very familiar, so I'm pretty sure he stole it.
Got it. So do you do any mukbangs there, Jason Guacamole?
Yes, but someone spilled Mountain Dew on my webcam and my laptop, so I can't upload anything.
Oh, well, that's
It was a
unfortunate.
ghost. I'm pretty sure it was a ghost.
Probably, or it could be
You know
your
how it
satanic
goes.
cat. You have 2 cats, and I'm pretty sure Watermelon has a demon spirit about him.
Yeah, it was our one of the atheists, satanic atheists. I'm pretty sure conjured a spell.
Do you remember the video where Rev News hurled Watermelon and said Watermelon was demonic?
No, I don't remember that one.
We were like,
He would never do that to Gavin Kit Kat.
Gavin Kit Kats.
He's a boy.
Gavin Kit Kats is a boy. Oh man, that's so funny. Rose is laughing. I'm Manya. Let me in. I would let Manya in. I would talk to Manya. Absolutely. I wouldn't let her in with certain people in the room. Like I would keep it like pretty like low key. But I would talk to Manya. Absolutely.
I
Manya.
don't think I've ever interacted with Manya.
Manya, if you want to talk, you just let me know. Internet honor and whatnot. Speaking of internet honor,
You are the most honorable.
I am the most astronomically honorable Hufflepuff here. I'm a
That's true.
Hufflepuff
I'm
after
an
all.
Autobot. I'm House Autobots. That's
Oh my
the
God.
weird space school.
I really want to know what sex Gavin was.
It's a boy. Gavin, it's a boy. In case anyone didn't know, he's a boy. He's the best boy. And you make sure he's on your lap and not under the seat. Otherwise, we'll have to pull all of this stream over.
So how did you get sucked into all this? Because I've seen your moniker everywhere.
I don't know how I fell in. One day, I think I started watching a drag stream. And he was going in on our 2 favorite Pennsylvanians. And I asked him, why are you going so hard on these people? And he was pretty cool about me asking him about it. And then I went and watched more, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's why. And then I just watched them being tards.
Do you feel like at this point you have an addiction to watching the stupid?
Yeah, I was really sad when they got their channel, but all their channels yeeted. I think I was just as sad as Shani. I might have shed 1 or 2 more tears than her.
Did you see the recent video where she's crying about drag stealing all the money?
Was that today?
That was yesterday. Let me see if I can find it.
I don't remember when the streams are, to be honest, but I've been watching the last few days. They're the best.
They have been, I don't know what you want to say, overboard, maybe?
I see why they're so mad about their Cash App going away. That's got to suck for them.
Yeah, I still don't understand why drag can't just, I don't know. Trash Panda! I don't understand why drag, or not drag, I'm sorry. My brain read one thing and I was trying to say another and it crossed paths. I was going to say, I can't understand why Rev can't get a job as like, I don't know, like, you know how you can get like a job like cleaning floors and stuff like
Effort.
that? You don't,
There's
you
no
know,
effort there.
That would require him to apply.
Yes.
Dude, I had a job where like I was filling in jobs in between jobs when I got laid off, and I was cleaning resort houses for folks like as a side gig. It was easy money. I mean, it was work, but it was fucking easy money.
He also has one giant problem in any resume he builds, and that's a lack of an experience in anything. No job history at all.
There's I mean, that's a challenge for getting a job that you would normally expect someone his age to be getting, but that's not a barrier to an entry-level job where they're going to train you to do the job anyways.
True. And he claims he has that felony that because of all the trolls, but I mean, anyone who's been on a construction anyone who's been on a construction yard knows it's not that hard to get a job with a record.
Could you imagine Rev on a construction site?
Oh no, he'd be a liability on the construction site. Holy fuck.
Oh, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about how he's be able to deal with, the other people there.
Oh yeah. He would be the guy holding the stop sign for everyone else, and they would be mercilessly trolling and beating him down.
Like, I don't know. I feel like a construction site is one of those places where, like, if they smell blood in the water, like, oh, it's easy to piss you off. Well,
Oh yeah.
they're gonna go for it.
They will take the piss out of you, as they say, right? For sure.
Yeah, but I just don't see him working any other job. Even McDonald's, I don't think they'd hire him.
No, he has to have a non-front facing job where he has minimal interaction. So I was thinking cleaning offices at night, the office floor
be
cleaner kind of
trustworthy.
guys. That's true.
I could see service clerk at a grocery store going well for him.
I knew someone who was
You're-
no, grocery store is a lot of people work. They go
That's
through.
why I said service clerk. That's like you go and get the carriage, you get the carts that are out in the parking lot, you go and you're stocking shelves, organizing inventory. You're not a front-facing employee.
You could be the cart guy.
So they will hire you as the cart guy. Somebody that used to work in the grocery store industry. They will hire you as a cart guy if you have a sour personality, if you are disabled, because then they can get the tax thing and like say, yes, we hired a disabled person.
Write-off.
But if he doesn't have a disability and he's just an asshole, he's not worth it to them because he's going to just be a liability without any of the, like, hey, we hired equal housing, or not equal housing, but equal rights or opportunity, or I don't know. Like they want a certain amount of folks that have a disability to work for them. Same with Walmart. But like, if you're an asshole and you have no disability, then they're going to be like, fuck off.
I mean, I think maybe he would have better luck at like a local grocery store.
Yeah.
Where they're hurting for bodies. I mean, the fact is that right now, as the pandemic is coming to a close and a lot of people have discovered during their time off that they could find better jobs elsewhere that allowed remote work, there's actually a general shortage of manual laborers in a lot of places now.
Especially restaurants right now.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
So, I mean, there's if you're willing to get out there. Yeah, no, April in the chat there is bringing up the other reason why. I mean, on the one hand, he honestly seems to come across like he really thinks that a job is beneath him, which I don't get. But on top of that, he knows how he got Shani. So I think he knows the risk if he's not home.
Are you trying to say that he remembers the sexting and how he was David and she was Bathsheba while Chris was working?
Does she have a pool of candidates to pull from though, like she did before? She's kind of isolated now more than she was before, though. No. What community would she pull a man from?
She'd probably go after G-Man again.
Yeah, that'd be the obvious target, right?
Well, then I fully support Rev getting a full-time job that makes him work 80 hours a week.
I mean, and I'm not even saying this to be mean, he would be better off. Shani has, by and large, been to his detriment. And he clearly doesn't want to be a father. He likes the idea of it, but not the execution.
Yeah, likes the name, the title, and that's about as far as it goes.
Like, if he wants that kind of thing, you find someone who's got, like, kids who are pretty stable themselves. Where he could just slide in and I guess, try to be the trophy husband. Which,
Yeah, he kind of jumped in way too early on the kid's timeline if he just wants to be the title.
Well, that and, given the other parent and the general state of the kids, I think there was more work than he was equipped to do.
I don't think he thought that through at all.
No, that if anything, that is one of Rev's problems, is not really thinking things through.
Yeah.
That is a good point, Froggy. He likes the title Christian, but none of the work.
Oh, but don't you dare bring up that, like, God might, judge you for doing absolutely nothing.
So
What?
have you seen
That greasy
this?
grace that he'll rant about.
Greasy Grace. I still need to make a channel called that. So have you seen this hysteria? This is probably one of the funniest, most telling rants I've ever seen, like from Shani. It's comedy. Let me see if I can.
But they're also going to be helping us with clothes for the boys, which is awesome. They're like little Christian agencies. They're helping. The church is helping, huh? Go figure.
The church is helping with some stipulations and requirements, like we'll give to the kids, not here's money, go buy cigarettes and drugs.
But you see, the atheists, they don't help. They kick you when you're down. How could they say they're so much better than religion if they are that cruel to others?
Amen. Yeah.
So there is something that I feel like has not been emphasized enough, and it's the fundamental flaw in Shani and Rev's whole other people ask for money on the internet, what's wrong with us doing it? I don't know a single other channel that says, pay our bills, we need you to help us feed our kids, and push their Patreon in this way that they try to make you feel guilty for not giving them money. Every other creator I know started with YouTube typically as a side job, and the monetization was just kind of like a little bit of extra money until their channel built up to a point where they could do it full time. They're trying to start as a fully established channel with a massive subscribership, and expects everyone to do it for them.
Well,
like they're owed a check.
I can think of another channel where they kind of put the kid at the forefront. When NSS broke up with Steve versus Kyle kind of thing, Steve's followers were hashtagging Kyle steals from children all over the internet.
Yeah, all that money that Steve never got.
Yeah, Kyle steals from children. Yeah, I remember that. So that every so often you'll see like a kid toted out as sort of a little Johnny was not going to eat because you didn't give him my Patreon, or something like that. So you'll see it trickle in here and there, but yeah, they're just the most worst about it, I guess.
They're lucky they have kids. They're gonna get some money Friday for having kids in the United States with that tax credit that everyone's getting.
Oh, is there a tax credit coming? Or is it only for people with kids?
It's only people with kids is what the earned income tax credit is. What they did is they split it half the year. You would get a payment every month. And then at the when you file your taxes, you get the last half of it.
Taxes? What's that?
I also...
I don't think they file taxes.
No, they have to have.
Yeah. And
they got the stimulus. They had to file taxes.
Yeah, and that's why I think they're freaking out about their Cash App getting taken away, is because that's their only bank account that's not in the negative. So if they told the government, hey, deposit our checks into this account for us, and then that account gets closed, they're not going to get that money. And that's a giant thing. If they don't get that money, they're going to have to wait for the government to either have the account balance and then them mail them a check. And if they get a check, do they have proper and up-to-date identification to cash that at a bank?
And also, I have not seen a fundraiser. Like they talk about like giving people money to other people. I have not seen a fundraiser done for other people where the story was, we burned through our trust fund recklessly, and now we can't afford things, so give us money. Like that's not the story. It's there's some kind of incident. They got into a car accident. They got
some
laid
pigs
off suddenly.
Yeah.
Right. Something happened that is exceptional in their situation that they wouldn't be expected to be able to cover their expenses. This is just them wanting to not face the consequences of burning through their trust fund.
Notice what they're not asking everyone to pay for, and that's that internet bill that they had recently installed as soon as they moved into that house or got into that house. Remember, they said that there was someone coming in to install the internet, and they haven't mentioned anyone coming in to pay that bill yet.
Oh yeah, how are they paying for their internet?
G-Man.
I was gonna say it's probably G-Man.
Wow.
He loves YouTube, so that's what he'll gladly pay their internet bill so they can keep on the internet.
Doesn't he understand that well, no, he doesn't. It's enabling, and B, they can make money elsewhere. Like this is not where it should be made. At the expense of everybody and everything. That's so crazy. Wow. Man, I tell you, they're just every time I look over there, it's like insane over there.
Yo.
I hear this escalate, so I'm gonna fast forward.
I'm just empathetic toward everyone I love. Just don't do me wrong in my philosophy. Yeah. I would be fine if you're an atheist and you just let me be. But instead, this whole atheist community is just after my head, after my blood.
Persecuted woman, for real.
Do an Amazon list for cooking ingredients. Cook on your channel. Put some fun.
This
in
is
your
the
house.
face
That
of
would be
atheism
nice.
attacking Shani.
Again.
That would be nice.
Actually, you're not an atheist anymore.
You know?
Not exactly, no.
It's just not right. It's not right. It's not right. Like these motherfuckers, they can put their links out to their Cash App and to their PayPal and to their Streamlabs. They can have their Patreon. They can have their super chats on YouTube. They can have all these things talking utter trash against me and going against terms of service. And me, I can't get anything. I can't get anything. Ugh.
Is Green Fog asking for people to roast my haircut?
Yuck.
I'm pretty sure that's misandry, according to Reds and Co.
Wrong on every level.
It's misandry.
Well, they said it was misogynistic to try to make a girl self-conscious about her hairstyle. So, just kind of connecting the dots there. That must mean that conversely, it's misandrous to.
This haircut here is a COVID haircut. My hair is longer now. It's actually up my shoulders, but I don't often go short. So you can roast me all you want. I went short. It is a COVID haircut. It is not professionally done. So shit happens. What can I say? But that being said, I've seen Cheshire's hair. Oh my God. What has happened? Why is it so short in places where it shouldn't be short? I don't know. Does anyone know?
It's summer and it's hot.
Is
so you cut
is
the
that
hair
comment
down.
from Merbino directed at me?
Merbino.
Like, I can't see them in the side chats. I think they have me blocked.
Stay salty, bitch. Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. Merbino is one
Definitely
of
not
peeps.
me.
Yeah,
Did you do battle with Merbino on the battlefield somewhere, and then was there blood left on your sword? Do you remember?
I have no idea. Oh, he's talking about
Talking
Shani.
about
Okay,
Shani.
fair enough.
Everybody's talking about Shani.
Oh, wait. Okay, now his comments are showing up for me. Just the first one didn't. I think this is
Merbino.
YouTube being wacky.
Merbino,
He's
you have exactly
tactically
2
hiding from
seconds
you.
to join the hangout. Your internet honor is on the line. Go. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. The dog ate Chesh's hair. Maybe possible.
You know what? I mean, it's not like an amazing haircut. But, oh, I'm in top chat. Son of a...
Oh.
But anyways, like, to be honest, like, I don't know. Chess's looks in general is like something that I don't really have. She does not evoke a strong opinion in me in that front in any regard. Like the short haircut, it's so. Like I
She's obviously self-conscious about it.
Well, you know, it's definitely making her mad, which is funny. But then again, I've never really put a whole lot of stock into my looks, so maybe I just can't relate because I generally laugh at people who try to make fun of my looks.
Fair enough.
Like, they've already put more effort into my appearance than I have. But I mean, you know, it doesn't help that she's toxic and a fucking snake.
Look, just because she's sneaky and chaotic evil does not mean that she's a snake. She is a human being. And therefore we need to address her as such. I don't know. I'm trying to paste something in my thing and it's not working. Get in there!
I mean, the fact is that Chesh only cares about things like misogyny when, you know, it's to her benefit.
Well, and coming from Reds, it's hilarious. Let me see if I can share. This is funny.
I was on Twitter a little bit going back and forth with Reds and AT2 Productions, and then I just muted the conversations once I had my fill and was driving home. So hope they're not too mad that I just checked out.
I've messaged him. I've tweeted at him once, and he instantly blocked me. Because he doesn't like trolls unless it's him trolling.
So you have to use the righteous rage voice that Ruds has. Thinking a haircut is bad is not the misogynistic part, dumbass. Trying to make her self-conscious about how she looks is. You seriously weren't aware of the body shaming women? Body shaming women is a form of misogyny? Seriously, fuck off.
I mean, making someone self-conscious about making a woman self-conscious about anything in itself, I don't think is misogyny. Unless, you know, there's more to it than that. Like, if I make a girl feel self-conscious because she said something stupid and I pointed out, that's not me being a misogynist. You know?
There's a lot of things to say about that.
Well, and is it misandry to say that he's a weak bitch? Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, he's the one that
just
said
stating facts.
Reds is the guy that grabbed my hand and said, "Feel my heart," and he put my hand on his chest, so I got to feel his chest. I got to tell you, like, it felt concaved. Like there was nothing there. Like the man's never worked out in his life.
No, you don't need to put him down.
I knew another guy who was thin like that who had the same kind of thing on his chest. It's very strange.
Not his fault. He's got a
I do wish that I missed that California trip. I would have loved to have just been there to just, you know, antagonize a little bit.
Well, the weird thing is like, I think a lot of us did so much damage control. Like a lot of us were like scurrying around going like, how do we make sure this person gets along with this person and all this stuff. And like, it was one of those things where like, it was so much effort for everybody to like walk on eggshells around this guy that it still failed.
About this trip.
Well,
how old was he during this?
Oh God, I don't know, late 20s.
Was he
29 or something? 29.
Oh,
or something.
really?
Yeah, adult enough.
Yeah. Old enough to know better.
Because it feels like a 20-year-old kid. That would have been like, okay, he's a little bit more of an excuse. But if he's an older dude,
I mean, D, you know how I am. If I see someone behaving like that, I'm gonna poke.
You're supposed to.
Yeah, like There is nothing funnier to me than tough guys posturing at me. It is so fucking funny. I
Shadow
have been
says he
punched
would've
out.
been 29 or 30.
I have been punched out by a semi-pro boxer. Really, threats of violence don't faze me all that much.
That doesn't sound like a good time being punched
Oh, it
out by a
was.
boxer.
To be honest, it was eye-opening. But yeah, no, I mean, it was part of some martial arts testing I was doing. One of our students is a semi-pro boxer, and we put gloves on, and yeah, I got punched enough times that I had a moment of like, and I fell backwards, and I mean, by the time I hit the mats, I came back to and rolled back up, but it was still like whoa, what just happened?
That's a lesson you only need to learn once.
Well, I mean, the takeaway for me was largely that I've lost enough fights to not really be scared about losing fights. So if the best thing they've got is the threat to kick my ass, they can come by whenever they want. Like, feel free. It won't change my mind. I've never changed my opinion because someone kicked my ass.
Like, I gotta tell you, I've had a lot of girls go, about my camping or whatever, being like, Deidre, I'm just not as rugged as you. And I'm like, I don't know if this is like an insult or what. Like, I'm just some sort of like hillbilly or, whatever, but whatever. Rugged was the word used, right? Being willing to like get dirty and stuff. But I got to tell you, I don't think every time I go, oh, martial arts would be cool. Then I think about being hit. And I'm like, I don't prefer to be hit. Like, so what is that walking into that going like, okay, I'm going to get hit. I might be bruising. I don't know.
Well, I mean, to start with, when we bring in like a brand new student, like if there's going to be contact, it's going to be extremely light. And like one of the things we practice is, tightening up and being ready to absorb a hit. And obviously in training, like there are certain places you could target that it doesn't matter what you do. Like if you punch someone in the solar plexus, it doesn't really matter how much you've muscled up or what have you. That's going to knock the wind out of the person. So like, in training, we won't just blast each other there. There's no point. You're not going to suddenly become durable to getting the wind knocked out of you in the one spot where muscle doesn't develop.
It's always an experience getting the wind knocked out of you for the first time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had that experience quite young. I fell from somewhere like flat on my back and couldn't breathe for a good minute there. But I mean, after a while, like I don't really mind getting hit these days. Like within reason, I don't want to get punched in the face or get the wind knocked out of me, but just taking hits to muscular targets, it just kind of gets the adrenaline going.
Look, I'm not pixie shaming. I got a COVID haircut. Like, okay, where's my COVID? That's not you. That's not my COVID haircut. Where did it go?
I'm due for a haircut.
Nice.
There you go. That's a COVID haircut right there. See? And I got like some wings in the back and stuff because like apparently that's where I get wavies, like right there in the back there. I get a monkey butt on the back of my head and I have to comb. This is a real problem for people that have thinner hair. Like I'm not like balding, but like you part funny, so you have to like comb the back part down like back so that way it doesn't part all the way across. Otherwise you get like what Negs has going on, but on the back of your head it's not good. Like so like people know. So
I don't feel like sharing the embarrassing picture of me when I let my hair really grow out, but I look straight out of the 70s.
You looked out of the 70s?
Like it gets very curly towards like the bottom and stuff, and like it feathers out. Like it looks extremely 70s.
I think the 70s looks not too bad. I think what's bad is the like Michael Bolton look or the all party in the back and then the serious on the top.
I mean, his hair is not long these days.
Mullets, yeah, mullets are frightening.
But yeah, the mullet. Like Fabio's been kind of touching on this point, and I have to agree with Fabio pretty much 100%. Chesh is off-putting because of her entire demeanor, the way she will try to manipulate, the way she will try to twist everything she doesn't like against someone, the way she will just stir the pot to try to piss people off and fake offense just to get people on her side. All of that.
Fabio's saying that because he's part of Hydra. He is. He has the shirt.
I think she looks fine if she's.
She did. She
applying
does.
to be a gym teacher.
Just, that
You laugh
aside,
because you're looking at it now and you're like, "Yep, she's a middle school gym teacher with the haircut." I'll make the joke.
I mean, I could see it, but the point is that her looks are the least of my criticisms. In fact, I don't really have anything to criticize about her looks in general. Just
Same with
whatever.
Reds. Like in the end, like it's not about him being a scrawny, scared giraffe with the temperament of a chihuahua. It's like about the shit that he does, right?
Generally, the only thing I will say about Rev's appearance is just like he just has the look of someone who's done some hard drugs, and it's taken some toll. Yes, of course, Fabio. Hmm? Simos, you got. Oh, I mean,
That's mean.
She's certainly
She doesn't
not
look
like
a
some.
genuine boy.
Even if she was a charming individual, I mean, she's not really my type, but that's fine. I don't care. I don't need every. If you're not dating material to me, that doesn't mean you look bad.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm tired of this putting her down. I'm a complimenter. She's really good at manipulating some of those dummies they got. She knows how to play them really well, and I give her credit.
I mean, it is impressive that they'll cry misogyny and defend her, while at the same time she'll come into a hangout and they're all catcalling her, and that's totally fine.
That's part of the game.
Hannah is here to defend internet honor of bad haircuts. So, Hannah, there's a link to join if you'd like.
I mean, while I will say that I do have some dashing good looks, I don't know that I would call myself vain.
You probably think the song is about you.
I don't think I was the middle child growing up. I never thought anything was about me.
Are you the lost child? Are you the one that's like in between?
I mean, my mom straight up said to my brother's best friend when we were in high school, "Adrian, you're like my second son." While I was standing in the room, like 5 feet away, and it's like, wow, I'm right here.
So, I mean, you were the accident?
No, I wasn't an accident. I have a younger sister, too. If I had been born a girl, though, there wouldn't have been a third.
Yeah, I think well, I mean, here's my honest opinion of the haircut, since like it's been like an ongoing thing. And part of the reason why people are talking about the haircut is A, she's got a horrible personality, but B, it's something that's funnier than, say, like, I don't know, like, her layered arguments that are shit, right? And so it's one of those things where it's like, what just happened? You went on vacation and came back like this. But I mean, like, do I think that she could pull off a pixie haircut? Absolutely, if it was cut right. Absolutely. She needs to go softer and let it fall forward, not back, and not go for like a severe look, because she already looks like she's got like a 6 head going on. So if she could like maybe like let the hair fall forward and stuff like that, that'd be helpful.
I am still glad that I have not shown signs of hair loss, because I've got a scar right here on my forehead that if my hairline receded, that would just be.
Is it like Harry Potter like scar, like a zigzag? Or?
Not a zigzag. It's
We found the chosen one.
Right?
I'm trying to.
He's a Gryffindor, I'm sure.
I mean,
Just
you're not
tattoo
wrong on
over
that
it.
front. But yeah, no, it's this kind of line going into my hairline there. That is, I split my head open as a kid. Yeah, no, it's really
You
hard to
should
see on
tattoo
camera.
a lightning bolt on it.
No.
Oh man.
That's a real opportunity.
So I got hit in the head with a baseball bat when I was a kid, and that's what's wrong with me. And and my like it was weird. My brother and my sister thought they had killed me, and it was by accident. Like I wanted to play catcher, and I was like 3, way too young, and I walked right behind my brother, and on the back swing he whacks me in the head. So he does a full-on swing, and on the very back of the swing it whacks me in the head, and I just get knocked flat, unconscious, and there's blood everywhere. And my sister says that she thought, and she was like 10 years older than me, right? She thought, like, she was convinced they killed me. Like, so I was just like out, gone, like not moving, and blood everywhere. So like they're like, oh my God, we killed her, and they're freaking out. And it turns out like they didn't, and I ended up with a concussion. But like, I had the longest time this scar that was going like straight in the middle of my head, in the middle of my forehead, and then the weirdest thing happened. It just slowly started going away. So I don't know what it is with some scars, but some scars will really fade really good, and like they just kind of blend in. But I think it's like the younger you are, sometimes the better. I don't know what the deal is.
I don't know. I was like 6 or 7, and I kind of sliced my arm with a steak knife, and that scar just grew right with me.
Oof. Yeah.
Like now people see it, and you know, I mentioned now and then that I do martial arts. Like, oh my God, what happened? And it's like it's not as interesting as you think.
You
Yeah,
need to
there's-
make up a lie.
Can't get rid of.
Got
I
into a
guess-
street fight. A guy brought a knife, and
I
you
am
had
a
to
bad
defend your
liar.
spouse's honor. I would totally sell it as a good fight.
I'm a bad liar, in general.
Oh, that makes it better when they call you out. Be like, yeah, he got me good.
Jeez, Nars, brutal.
That's messed up.
Oh my God.
I thought the gym teacher joke was rude.
That's a whole other level. Oh man. Jeez. I used to talk normal until my brother hit me in the face with a shovel. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's always
Was
the
the
siblings,
shovel
man.
okay?
I mean, my brother and I certainly had our days.
Does anyone ever brag that they're a good liar?
Yes, but they're not good when they say that. That's how you spot another liar. A good liar will say, "I'm bad at lying."
I mean, that's a fair point, Ethan. I'm just gonna say that like I'm a bad liar even when it wouldn't be harmful, like sparing someone's feelings. My face just says it all.
Remind me not to ask Scott, do I look fat in this? I can just imagine you during the headlights. Oh, look what I have to do.
Ethan, it was not the dog. It was dragging his ninjas. Don't even try.
Oh man, it's not baffling to me that they would try to blame Drag for the state of their apartment. What's baffling to me is that anyone, mostly their enablers, would believe them.
I don't
That's
think
the
anyone
part.
actually believes them. They're just going with the story. Well, except for G-Man. He believes anything.
I don't know.
Outside of him, who actually believes them?
Who dat?
About the shit.
Isn't that a
ninja?
real person?
Yes. Like she's gone on live.
Wait, who dat? Is that weird person that they Toasty's been watching?
No, that's Lauren's Life Perplexed.
Yeah, she's a
And-
weird one.
Though Hudat did go on a live stream with Jules and Burnt Toast, and Drag popped in. That's
Is
actually
that the
on
booger
one
one?
of Burnt. No, but one of Burnt Toast's recent edited videos she did. includes Houdat. It includes another simp of theirs that was the one who footed the hotel fees. And then, of course, it goes into G-Man and the extreme state of denial that he lives in about reality.
So two people, G-Man and Houdat, believe it.
And another person, I just can't remember her name. It's not as memorable.
I'm fat. My doctor told me I was fat. She didn't say you're fat. She said it would be really good if you lost some weight. And I said, I know. And then we talked about it some. So yeah, I am fat. But that my doctor said it like that. She wasn't like mean, but she's blunt. Like she's not gonna like be like, you get on with your bad self, have another hamburger. It's cool.
I do remember one time I had not the doctor, but the APRN at the office I was going to try to throw my BMI back at me. I forget what the context was. I
back at you like there was like a big.
Well, your BMI is
very
like I was
confrontational.
complaining about something. She's like, well, your BMI is obese, and it's like sure, but have you looked at me?
This is the nurse?
Yeah.
I would have told her, well, you probably have 15 cats. Throw it back at her.
No, I don't.
Back at her.
I don't fight with nurses. I was raised by one.
And I bet you had a lot of cats growing up.
No, my mom hated cats.
No, she's the one.
My aunt was a nurse and hated cats. She thought cats were uncleanly.
I know a lot of
You
nurses.
guys are ruining the story. Nurses love cats. It's a rule.
I mean, I love cats. I've got 2 of my own.
See?
I love cats, but I have dogs right now.
I got 2 of those too. It's unfortunate because the cats would love nothing more than to be friends with the dogs, but the dogs aren't having it.
Yeah, I mean, I think doctors are, looking out for you. I'm not one of those people that goes, how dare my doctor body shame me for saying that I need to lose weight? That my doctor's right. I have higher blood pressure than I should have. And I would probably be a healthier specimen of a human being if I lost weight. Absolutely. So like I'm not one of those people, but what drives me nuts is when I see on Twitter like people getting upset at their doctor for telling the fucking truth. That's when I'm like, what the fuck? And I look at him and like, you're 300 pounds, you're 5'7". Yes, you fucking need to lose
That's a
weight.
big
You're
boy.
obese.
My doctor questioned me for getting the flu shot.
That's weird.
Yep. That's
Like-
what I said. He says, why did you get a flu shot? And I said, because you guys are giving them away for free. He goes, you're kind of young. You don't really need one.
Wow, that's interesting. That's a first.
This was right before COVID, too. Which made it funnier.
I mean, we had, I think, the lightest flu season, I think, in recent history in 2020 because of COVID. Like, I want to say the number of deaths due to the flu this past year were infinitesimal compared to previous years. Now, I mean, not to say that worked out in our benefit in the long run. There were other causes of death that skyrocketed.
That's probably true. But they asked me. I didn't go asking for the flu shot. I just signed up, put my name on the schedule, and they said, do you want one? I said, well, okay.
So I used to work for a place that would like kind of insist that we get a flu shot, which was kind of weird. And so like I was like, all right, this is a first. So I got my first flu shot working for this place, and then like here's the crazy thing, I ended up with the flu, and it was like 3 months after my flu shot. So then I called in sick with the flu, and they said, well, how are you sick with the flu? You got the flu shot. And they tried to call my bluff saying I was lying. And so I had to have a doctor's note saying, yes, I indeed have the flu. And I was so pissed off that they were using the flu shot as a weapon against me. I was
flu
like,
shot
what?
is not a silver bullet that prevents the flu 100%. And I don't know where they got that expectation from.
I guess they thought maybe, I don't know, HR's dumb. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm sorry
Yes.
if you work in HR, but some folks that work in HR really need some help.
Yeah, because there's so many strains of flu, and the vaccine only covers a portion of them.
Yeah, like I got,
And there's
yeah, they were like, you got the flu. And I was like, oh, but I got the shot. And they're like, different flu. I'm like, oh, God damn it.
exactly right. The flu mutates, and I know that I want to say that there's actually like some statistical surveying done each year to try to target the most likely strains that are going to be around. I believe that is something that's done. And yeah, no, that's yeah. I mean, I know a lot of companies are grappling right now with policies around people being vaccinated for COVID, and even there, it's like, oh, I don't know if that should really be in their purview or not. But I mean, there's also something to be said for looking after the safety of your employees, and not getting vaccinated against COVID isn't just risking yourself.
Yeah.
It's putting other people in danger, despite what idiots online would try to make you believe.
Oh snap! Ref just posted a video.
Oh, God. What is it?
Hmm?
Hold on, I'll post it in the chat. There we go.
Uh-oh.
He's
Red.
yelling at Tila.
At who? Tequila?
Yeah, their new clout chase.
Yeah, they're clout chasing her, and they think that they're somehow better than her. But, like, I think she's certifiably more crazy than they are. Does she have kids? I hope not, because she's pretty crazy too. Tila. I remember her screaming about how she wanted everybody to burn up in hell and stuff, and I was like, oh God, this person.
Oh, I think Tatted wants some accolades for his humbleness.
Accolades. Where's Tatted?
Accolades.
Humble praise. Humble praise to Tatted. Tatted is the most humbled atheist I know, and he's my brother.
I remember writing off Tila Tequila when my wife watched that, I think it was on MTV, The Shot at Love.
Yeah, the second
where
one
she
was bad.
came out as bisexual, and yet the only time she ever did anything with women was when there was a male audience to be had.
Oh, I hate those kind of bisexuals.
Yeah, and
not really bisexual.
surprise, she never ended up with a girl.
Okay.
And
I
then she
think in
came
the
out
second
later and
season
said
she
that was
picked
all
one.
bullshit.
Oh my God.
Is this actual uni?
Busy?
I don't think so. I think this is someone's troll account.
Unirock, is that for you? For reals?
Checkity, checkity, checkity.
No, it sounds like uni.
That's
Yeah,
uni.
no, I'm not trolling. Yeah, but oh shit, man, hold on. I gotta go. I gotta jump out and pause this.
All right, peace.
Does he not have
that was a brief segment brought to you by Unirock.
Does he not have tabs? That's all I did.
I think he was on mobile.
I think he's on his phone and it gets back
Oh.
Much better, much better.
Okay.
Everything was repeating. You know what I'm saying? Because I had the stream playing on. I'm on my phone, so.
Aha. I was gonna say, it's like, don't you have tabs? Like, that's all I did is I just muted the tab that I'm watching the stream from, and
I
left
would
it
if
at
I
that.
was on my PC, but nah, I'm on my phone.
That makes sense now. On the phone, it's a bitch.
I gotta warn everybody. I just smoked like a fucking half of a CBD joint, so I'm a little bit blazy, just to let you know.
How much THC is in a joint like that? I wouldn't think there'd be much.
None. Yeah, there's like none, but I'm such a lightweight that it changes my whole my whole mental state when I hit CBD. So it's almost like it's a joint for me because I'm such a pussy when it comes to drugs and stuff.
Well, here's what's weird. Like you say that, and a lot of people have been saying that, and I'm like, CBD does nothing in that way in my brain. Like I can so fully function on CBD, like nothing. Like
Yeah, I mean, that's how I am too. It just makes me goofy. But sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Interesting.
I was gonna say
He's
I used to
getting
take
white girl
CBD.
wasted on CBD. Leave him alone.
I used to take CBD in the hopes that it would help my depression, but it never seemed to affect me in the slightest.
I don't think it's
I've heard
affected
that
that.
from some people.
But I get so I have arthritis in my hips, and then like since COVID I've been having these weird, I guess the best I could describe it is I had COVID about a year ago, over a year ago now. And I have these weird, not fits, but like they're like episodes where I will go full on into like an immune response kind of situation where everything hurts and aches. My fingers hurt. Everything goes into like that full, really bad, worst flu ever kind of feeling. But no flu's attached. It's freaky. And then it'll go away, and then but like it's like it can be anywhere from 1 day to like 5 days of horribleness, and then it goes away again, and then no flu. Like it's just like they think it's like part of being like a long haul COVID thing, and I'm like this is bullshit. So I've tried CBD on that, and it helps when you have pain from inflammation, things like that. It seems like it really helps that kind of
Well,
stuff.
there's different acids that will build up and crystallize in your bloodstream. And I didn't know this until I had an issue with my foot. And I read about it. And it, like when you hear about gout, that's actually because of ularic acid or some shit. But anyway, yeah, I know what you mean, because it can hit you all at once. I was walking in the park, so my kids were swinging, and I was walking, and next thing I know, well, bam! Like my foot, I felt like I broke my foot, but it wasn't. It was the joint and the tendon on the top of my foot. Really weird shit. But it
Oh
helped.
yeah, I heard about that. I remember you saying something about your foot like that.
Yeah, out of nowhere. I'm getting old. We're getting old is what it is. What are you guys talking about? I don't want to interrupt anything, so.
Oh,
I've kind of been drifting.
just kind of drifting conversation, open hangout. So like,
Ooh.
suggested topic was internet honor. Every so often we'll see someone that like screams debate me, and as if your internet honor is on the line. Or we saw it with you and Chess, this weird little dance where like meet me in the hangout, and then she's like, oh, but I want the link to your actual Discord. You're like, no, you're gonna take the Discord I give you, and she's like, but I want your actual Discord. And then she's like, send the link to my mods, and my mods will work it out. And then she's like, no, don't send a link, send it directly to me. My mods aren't gonna take it. And it's this dance, and it's like this internet honor. Meet me outside at noon, and then nothing actually happens.
Exactly. Because in our reality, I want Chesh's opinion on those clips that, you see, this is why I call them a cult. And that's, I guess, the argument right now. People are pissed. You call them a cult, and it's such a fucking insane thing to say. It's not. It's because these people are all adopting the ideology that they have to adopt in order to allow him to not apologize, not reconcile, not fix, or at least explain the things that have been extremely fucked up towards people. And the thing is, he will say, I didn't do this, right? And then what does Chesh and the rest of the quote-unquote cult do? They go out and they have to then ignore that specific clip. They have to, hold on, sorry, I don't want to disconnect. Okay. They have to ignore that specific clip. They have to play the same game, the same. Now, in our circles, if somebody brings us a clip of, let's say, Prodoxins trying to, him and Steve doxing me, then we're going to look at it and be like, okay, well, what do Prodoxins and Steve have to say about this? So that we know how to, if you guys want to be doxers, if you want to act like this, then be straight about it. Don't just, in a coordinated fashion, they will lie to undo all the worst things that they do. That's the problem. And that makes them a cult. They have to all adopt an ideology, a way of thinking and behaving and acting that allows for the worst things that they all collectively do to just disappear. While mind you, they are bringing up Kyle, saying he's the most evil, unethical motherfucker that ever lived because he lied twice. And they hold these lies from, oh my God, 3 years ago. These 2 lies he told makes him the worst person ever, right? And why is it not fair? Because it's a cult. Why don't they have an equal application of criticism and I don't want to say social debt, but accounting or whatever the hell their word is, whatever, because I'm using their standard. I don't want to rant though, but go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, they're really, I mean, cult or not, you can definitely see how selective they are with their outrage. If you're in, then they will circle the wagons and defend pretty much anything and everything and try to contrive a way in which you're okay. But then you turn it around and you're not one of the in crowd, and suddenly they will come up with any excuse to contrive why you are terrible, straight up to sounding like some of the most like shrill SJWs, which are a group that they regularly shit on.
Oh yeah.
It's fascinating to see how they'll gladly play all those cards when it's convenient for them.
Oh my God, you said so many
7-Eleven.
awesome things just now. Jesus, like 5 awesome things you just said. Sorry, Spackle, go ahead.
But yeah, no, it's more convenience than a 7-Eleven with those guys.
Oh yeah.
No, you're right.
That's got to be a graphic now.
You are right. And this is the thing, like, if you want to judge them as a cult, you've got to ask yourself what makes a cult in the physical, non-matrix dodging lobster rolls realm. What real world, what makes you a cult? Well, you got to have that ideology. It's got to have a money factor to it. There's got to be a sex or attraction factor, and there's got to be devotion to a specific either person or ideology. So you could say, and this example is used by the doctor that wrote the BITE method of determining whether somebody is in a cult or not. You can use the Grateful Dead and you can say, well, the Grateful Dead's a cult, but they're not. They have all the tics that one does, like the people that are hanging around it and watch the show, all the tics that a cult has. Though you can leave anytime you want, you can think anything you want, you can dress whatever way you want, act however way you want, and say what you want. And that's why they're not a cult. So the problem is no one from the Grateful Dead, the viewing crowd or the in crowd there, is going to dox you, chase you down, flip out on you, and stalk you and follow you around and talk about you forever if you leave. They're not going to lie about you. They're not going to do any of those things. Just by default, leaving this group makes you open to that.
Right. I mean, part of it is that, like, you take a group like, the Grateful Dead fan base. What's missing from that is the control element. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, I'm with you.
At no point does a group like the Grateful Dead or even their in-crowd try to assert control over its membership. Other than, sending promo stuff, but I'm pretty sure we all get spammed.
They might hand you a joint like a couple times, right? They can get you to blaze up.
Hey,
No, you're right.
I was told in Dare that people were going to be trying to give me drugs all the time, and I'm waiting for that day.
Yeah, I mean, what happened there? What happened with that shit?
Where are these free drugs that people are handing
Where
out?
are they?
The most drug-riddled concert I was ever at was Tom Petty.
Oh.
It was Tom Petty,
yeah, no, I believe
100%.
that.
Oh, yeah, I believe
Fucking
that.
Tom Petty. More than
I got a
Tool,
story for you, but go ahead.
more than Rob Zombie, more than Aerosmith. It was Tom Petty.
I remember catching a whiff of pot at a Aerosmith concert, but that was about it. But no, Tom Petty concert doesn't surprise me in the least.
Oh, listen to this. So there's a group called, it'll come, Hookah, Acoustic Hookah, okay? And I had a buddy that worked at a record store here in town and a CD store, you get me. And because of that, the Hookah would try to get managers, people that had a reputation in the area of a good reputation, to offer people for security to stand at the gates. And so my friend got me and like 6 of our friends every year when Hookah was in town, free ticket, like free full pass for this like 4-day festival event. All the bands in the world that are hippie like would be there. Okay. And I loved it. And I'm a punk rocker. I'd go to punk rock shows. I'm a rocker, but I will go to any show. If you got Beethoven, some Beethoven shit going on, I'll put on a suit. I'll hang out. But anyway, we're walking in to a hookah one year, and there is a fucking double rainbow in the sky. So everybody, every hippie in the fucking 20-mile radius is standing looking at this thing going, oh my God, it's going to be such a great festival. God is blessing the festival. And we're all like, oh, whatever, you know, fucking hippies, because we're punk rockers. And we're walking in, and on the ground, my friend Val kicks a bag and is like, what the fuck was that? And she looks down, and I fucking kid you not, man. This is a fucking true story. I promise you. It's a bag full of like 200 or 300 ecstasy tablets. So she grabs it. She's like, okay, and starts walking around thinking a drug dealer is going to come shoot her and take it back. But of course, it was just a hippie that dropped their ecstasy. So the whole weekend, we did not pay for anything. It turned out those fuckers were like $30 a piece, right? Now, Val didn't want to sell drugs or anything. Val's just chilling. So they went ahead and just traded them for weed, traded them for pizza, traded them for soda, traded them for T-shirts. I mean, anything you could think. We walked out of there with like a whole fucking truck full of shit and a whole bunch of friends. Everybody loved us. But it was one of the coolest. I'm sorry, I had to tell that story. I haven't told that story in 20 years. So. Okay, I'm lying. It was more like 16, 18. Okay, years.
Oh my God.
I missed
What
it.
the fuck did I just turn to? Somebody sent me this. How to start a cult. I need to watch these before.
That is awesome.
What is it?
God.
A video about how to start a cult.
No way. No way. I gotta see it. I
I don't know what's happening.
All I can think of is The Office with the guy Creed. He's like, I've been involved in a number of cults over the years. You make more money as a leader, but you have more fun as a follower.
Isn't that the truth?
Did you watch that weird video about, like, I'm fascinated by cults. Like, I watch all the different cult things. But did you watch the one with the, I don't know, it was sort of like this weird subgroup of, I guess a guru guy, and he like held up in Oregon, and then in the 70s, and he had a whole cult member like group where they all wear red robes in Oregon, and they had this weird thing where they were trying to do purification, and they would like get into a circle and beat each other. like weird stuff like that.
All right. Until you got to that last part, D, I was like, you're really not being specific enough.
Yeah, I mean, yep.
Like that could be the Manson cult. That could be the cult that originated the Drink the Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah, what's the name of that cult?
Yeah, no, I'm blank.
Jim's cult. What is his name? I forget.
Oh man, Haley Bopp or
Jim
something.
Jones. Was it the Jim Jones cult? Was that it?
I think so.
Yeah, Jim Jones. Yeah, Jim Jones was the Kool-Aid one. I can't remember the name of his cult though. Like he promised like a better life. Yes, Wild Country documentary. Yes, that's the one. That one was weird, and it was interesting to watch the right-hand woman of this weird guru and how she did a lot of the control.
People's Temple.
Oh yes, People's Temple. Yes. Well, Jim Jones was from Indiana and then moved to California before they like took it out of the thing. Ranish. Yes, Ranish. Thank you. Misha remembers. Yep. Look that one up. That one was freaky to watch. That's funny. Well, they don't control what food you eat and what clothes you wear. So there's that. Rigid schedule. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I will say, discouraging you from having friends and or contacts from outside of the group, that's the big red flag to watch out for.
Yeah. Yep, so there's a whole little video on how to start a cult, apparently. So you can actually look it up on YouTube. Starts with a gun, which was a little bit freaky. I didn't expect that.
I have to come
Started
up
with a
cool
bang.
name.
I honestly think Christopher Mowdy could start a cult and it'd be pretty successful.
Mowdy's really charismatic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think he could. I think like we could wear robes and everything.
What if we talk Mowdy into starting a cult, just for educational purposes, so that we could show the Silverfish cult how they're a cult? I don't know.
They'll miss the point. They'll be like, "See, they're a cult."
Yeah, then they would legitimately be able to say that we're a cult, though. So that would suck.
I mean, as it is, it's incredible the way they'll lump kind of all of us together. Like, I mean, Unirock, I want to say this is the first time you and I have ever directly interacted, to my memory.
Oh, sure.
And,
yeah.
and outside of that, like, I occasionally see some people from your community in side chats of other videos that I watch, but, like, we're not a monolith.
So during Heaven's Gate, there was a comet in the sky, and you saw the big old comet, and you're just like, "Wow, this comet's crazy." And at the time, I remember we did an outreach program. I was in high school, I believe. Was I in high school? I think I was in high school, or was a freshman in college, because I did that as a dean later. I can't remember which one, but I think I was still in high school at the time, and I was a counselor. So we did this high school during our Easter break, where we'd take inner city kids out to the mountains and have a great time. And like some of these kids had never been to the mountains, so like one year there was snow. They were going bonkers because they'd never seen snow before, and it was just like, it was hilarious. So I came back from camp. So all these dead people in my city, apparently they followed this cult leader because they thought they were going to get onto some spaceship to like ascend to the next level, and that was the Hale
Did
Bob
they?
stuff. Yeah.
Hale Bob.
Did they get to the next level?
They died.
If dead is the next level, then I guess so.
They thought their souls were going to appear in the alien spaceship that was traveling in the wake of the Hale-Bopp comet. But no. And the Hale-Bopp group, these cults, they do the same thing that we're describing, that Jason said before you started to say that. They group people, anybody in who doesn't like them, into a group without caring. It's like, yeah, sometimes you can fleetingly say that. If it depends on like how you're in the conversation. Though, when you go to them and you're like, look, I don't like Unirock. I don't listen to Unirock. So I'm actually like telling you how I'm seeing what's going on. They won't allow that. You come to me and you tell me, I don't follow Steve. I'm going to be like, okay, I do follow Steve. Okay. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, that's the thing. We're just independent. We're all independent people, but the problem is they aren't. And they have these weird, almost like abnormal thoughts about viewers and viewership. They think that the viewership should be donating to them, and they think the viewership should be locked into their circle and not watch who they tell them not to, and they should watch who they tell them to watch. And because of that, yeah, well, exactly. And the tight-knit group thing, that's been going on with these people for so long that when I witnessed it from the inside, when I was with hanging over with Reds and teaming them, and I saw how there are these devoted people that don't do anything online but go into this little realm and be told where to go, told what to think, told who to look at, because these guys do science, and science is right. So, they're not going to mislead me on other stuff. I mean, it's almost like you're using, and that's exactly what conspiracy theories do. They just do it the opposite way. These guys are using science in the positive sense to try to create arguments that get them out of any criticism, whereas conspiracy theorists use science in the opposite sense to do it. But it's still an extreme in using science. It's an extreme in the end. It's everything about them is an extreme. They're extremists. I don't know if that's the definition of extremist, but you get me.
I mean, I've certainly noticed. I remember a few times when they would start making posts about developments in the lawsuit, and I have a passing understanding of the legal system just through being IT for a legal department for a lot of years. So I would start kind of asking some questions because some of the things they were saying didn't quite make sense or add up to me. And oh boy, That did not go over. Immediately, I was construed as defending Kyle.
Yep.
Which, I mean, there's really nothing to defend.
Exactly.
The actual serious charges Kyle faces at the moment, the contempt charges, are completely his fault. Nobody else could have done that but him.
And he owns it. Yeah, I mean, I talked to him yesterday. He owns that shit, and he's fine with it. He's even thinking about going to jail and doing whatever time that the judge tells him that he has to do so that he can just ignore this shit and move on with his life. So, I mean, how do you show disrespect to that? Like, yeah, I think it's a bad choice, but I don't think that it's a complete it's not something disrespectful. It's not something that you know what I'm saying. It's not him makes him a bad guy because he's like, fuck this shit.
I would say, if anything, it just kind of makes him look stupid.
Exactly, indifferent. He's making a bad decision. Yeah,
he's facing a contempt charge for something that was completely avoidable. And
He's been making bad decisions.
Exactly.
And I mean,
another difference between us and them.
He took the non sequitur show. Like, there's really no questioning that he did that. To be honest, given how the finances were managed, I have a feeling that if Kyle had just played ball, they probably wouldn't have really gotten much money out of him at all.
No.
I think it's going to be hard to prove that there really was a substantial amount of money to be had.
Can we have a conversation real quick that I just need to have with other people? And I think it would be good content. So it'd be, I think it'd be a good conversation. Which, and I have to let you know, my phone's at 5%. I think I'll be able to plug it in before I die. But if it knocks me out, I'll jump back in.
Okay.
But I want to talk about the non sequitur show and what people think happened and what they see of it. Because I'm going to be doing a video to sum up the whole thing, and I want to do it just from the outside perspective. So hearing other people's thoughts would really help. Let's go with the breakup of it. Let's rewind back then.
During the breakup of the non sequitur show, I was dealing with some problems of my own, so I was only kind of catching updates here and there. My understanding of the situation is that Steve had a demeanor that didn't necessarily lend itself to keeping consistent guests wanting to go on. And my impression is that Kyle decided to cut him out because he was driving guests away. At least that was Kyle's interpretation of what happened, is my understanding of what was happening.
Yeah, you're on point.
And then from there, I think Kyle tried to run the show for a little bit, and then he stopped, and then it's just been kind of in a deadlock ever since, with a lot of grandstanding.
Well, okay, here's how I interpret it, and hopefully I got enough juice. I think I do. Here's how I interpret what happened. I see that Kyle and Steve met to discuss signing a contract, and they had the contract laid out. They didn't fill it out, which is one of my greatest fucking piss off, regret, mad at things there. Because if we had that contract filled out, we would at least have information, independent and agreed on by both of them, that would tell us the terms of their business arrangement. Because as it sits, we have Kyle owning all assets, being on the hook for all taxes, being on the hook if they get sued, if he takes out a loan, whatever might happen with non-sec, it's on him and his shoulders. Steve, let's pretend Kyle took out a $20,000 loan, the channel bottomed out, and they started wanting that debt, and they were going to sue somebody. Steve would run faster than the wind, and it would have been Kyle dealing with all of it. It was all in his name. Steve would have never even chirped up.
You bring up a good point with the lack of a written contract, because what a lot of people pointed out is that Kyle could have really thrown a monkey wrench in the entire lawsuit by just denying that verbal contract ever happened.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. He hasn't had a chance to do anything yet. The sucky part about the non-sec.
He confirmed that. Unfortunately for him, he confirmed that verbal agreement during the short stint in which he had a lawyer.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to look at it then. I must be forgetting that part.
I mean, that was a while ago now.
Though, I mean, the verbal agreement that I had from Kyle and that I've heard and read in every instance that it's been publicly broadcast, which could be completely different from their private arrangement, was that Steve was getting 50-50 of the videos that he appeared on. And that's the fight that happened in that. I think I'm dead.
We can hear you. He might be dying. And
dead.
he's gone. Second shortest speech of Unirock ever.
It was a good finish.
Yeah, it was. I think I'm dead.
Yeah, I actually found like the court documents, the website where they're filed. So I was able to look through them, and honestly, going through those case files was it was really awkward. Like, I don't know what was more embarrassing, when Kyle's lawyer quit because Kyle lied to them, or when the judge had to gently explain to the plaintiffs that they need to actually, file a proper complaint
right
in court, and insofar as to like list out examples of what that filing should be. And that's just like I thought you guys hired a lawyer. But apparently, as I understand it, the lawyer was really not much more than a proxy for filings and didn't do a whole lot of legwork.
Anything?
Well, what's funny
I think
is this is a lawyer that's hired by Moneybags Ruhif, so like it's just interesting that he did the minimal.
I get the impression. Well, I get the impression that was not that lawyer's decision so much as they wanted to try to keep his fee as low as possible, and they do charge by the hour.
It does make you wonder what would have happened if Kyle got a lawyer from the onset, just from the straight beginning, just got a lawyer.
I think
how much different it would be.
It'd be way different, but I think I'm gonna play devil's advocate for Kyle. I in no way endorse Kyle's decision making. But as devil's advocate, I would say, imagine if you were faced with a millionaire that was going to be able to sue endlessly, and you have a very limited income, and this guy that's footing the bill, Ruhif, from another country, swings down and pays for Obo McRae's internet on her. And so now you've got a situation where you know that he can file injunction after injunction after injunction, sinking $60K. Well, $60K to you would be detriment to your well-being, to your livelihood, everything. And you got to tell me like that is intimidating. Like knowing that Ruhif's behind the machine is intimidating. And I think that is some of why he deer in the headlights freaked out.
That's if you have anything to lose. What does he have to lose?
That was the other weird thing, is
being
that
in
they're
debt
talking
for life,
about,
I guess. Yeah.
They're talking now about how like getting Kyle thrown in jail was somehow like a plan from the get-go, but that's not possible. The only reason Kyle could face jail time right now is because of the contempt charge. That's the only criminal charge in this case. You don't get jail time for civil suits. That is not how that works. And that I do know, because we had to learn about I had to learn about the export regulations that were civil versus the ones that were military. And if you violate the military export controls, you get charged criminally, which can result in jail time. Whereas if you violate the civil export regulations, you get fined. And they could also mess with your business in a number of ways, but people don't go to jail for civil complaints.
You just have to go back and watch their first streams. The plan for Steve was all along was to get the channel back and co-host with Reds. That's what it was.
Yeah, and Chess bragged that she's going to take over Kyle's position.
What, doing the artwork?
Yeah, I mean,
Because
haircut,
Steve's
artwork,
bumpers
and
are
everything.
so great now.
I mean, I've seen a little bit of her drawing work. Passable, but as like a co-host, she doesn't have any charisma. I mean, really, that's the most shocking part about their cult, is the leaders lack so much charisma.
Chesh is a lot like Unirock. She can talk for 20 minutes and I'll have no clue what she said.
I mean, probably nothing of substance or value.
I
So
think
that's
that's why
why.
Steve's
Like I
sort
said.
of a sleeper narcissist, right? Though, like there's some narcissists where you can kind of recognize what they are pretty quick, but he's a sleeper one. So when
You
he,
said a sleeper, Marsha. I never heard that before.
I'm making words up. My point
Okay,
is
go ahead.
like he's gonna surprise you. So like you make excuses for him. You see narcissist behavior, but because it's Steve and he comes in a little bit less hard, you think this guy is insecure. You don't assume
Oh,
that the
insecure. That is.
insecurity is
That,
narcissism. You think that it's regular insecurity, right? So you
That's why
start
he needed.
that's a good point. But
so you start
That's why he needed
excusing him.
Reds.
Yep. Who also is
I needed.
insecure.
Yeah, but he needed Reds to attack Kyle, and that's when it all blew up. If Reds wasn't in that
that one
stream,
stream, yeah,
that
that
hangout,
one
it would have
stream.
never happened.
Oh, Reds.
That one stream where it was recorded but in private at first, and I think it was like Red's the idea that Reds and Steve would take it over, but in that Kyle admitted to the verbal agreement. So whether he did in court or whatever, but he did admit it in that stream, but said that no perpetuity after that, right? And also, I went back and looked for my old comments on Steve's videos, like when he first came on, because I knew it. Like one of the first things I said, this guy is, oh my God, his need for recognition and admiration and validation is off-putting. It's the first time I put it.
I wanna
pick me.
So needy, such a needy. It was off-putting, right? Like you just, at first I thought, no, he's cool, he's doing the creationist thing, but no, he was immediately like. And it's interesting, Spatula, that you say that because that is part of narcissism, right? It's constant need to fill the inadequacy, right? And because he's soft-spoken, it comes off as
and it's a glass house. And then he had his moments where he'd rage a little bit, but you're like, oh, that's just internet rage, like happens to everybody. You start writing things off, right? Like, and you want to believe the best, and you make excuses. Hillary Pugh makes a point, and she is right. So on G Plus, we used to have these threads and stuff like that, and I can't remember the hangout per se, but I remember the thread, and I remember taking Hillary's side actually on this one. And I did continue to kind of play like in between groups and stuff like that. It wasn't like I forsook Steve McRae, but I called out him and said, yeah, I think what he was saying was sexist. And I can't remember the exact incident, so Hillary would probably be able to be best explain it. But I remember there was a blow up on G Plus, and people were divided. They were divided, and some people were just dumping on Hillary as being sort of like this progressive snowflake, and other people were taking Hillary's side, and there was just like this big thing. I remember Annabelle and I were at odds with each other on that one. Annabelle was Team McRae on that one, and I was like, no, like Hillary's got a point here, and like I can't remember the incident, but I would agree. I remember Hillary having one of the first run-ins with McRae, and it did not go well. And it was
developed his quote unquote GDC group on D Plus.
Yeah, and I remember there was sexism involved in it, and I can't remember all the details, unfortunately, because it was so long ago. But I do remember Hillary was one of the first people to call him out. And
yeah, I remember when he made that. I remember when he made that Google Plus group. I was completely oblivious to the fact that ruffled a lot of feathers.
Yeah, I was amused. Because the GDC, the Great Debate Community, as far as I was a lurker for years and years and years, and then G Plus, I participated a little, right? But remained a lurker. Not like I remember when that term was coined, like not exactly, but I remember it was a joke. It was a self.
Yeah, a little tongue in cheek.
Yeah, tongue in cheek, and like we were making fun of ourselves, having these grand debates about Noah's Ark and stuff. So it was always just a poke at ourselves, and not to get to we're just here in this tiny corner, and then I didn't realize like that, how much he had taken over that. It kind of pissed, because it was a good joke, right? It was a good self joke. And then there was the GDC on Google Plus, but I just thought that was I mean, I don't care about Steve's debates, but then I remember it, Dragon, kind of been here too long, Dragon, and, writing that paper, that red paper, whatever it was. Listing all the complaints about Steve. So, like, if that happened in real life, like, that would be, you came to work one day and everybody had written a paper about how the things they hate about you.
But Lulu, you never actually joined.
Fine, I'm out, right? Like, I'm out, but not Steve. Like, just ban.
I don't think you ever joined his
no,
little
no.
group. You were just like, nope, big nope. Yeah, so Lulu and Hillary were one of the first. Like, Hillary was the first to call him out on misogyny. And Lulu, like, was really quick to step over him and be like, big nope. So yeah, there were some folks right off the bat that just were like, nope, and
I mean, I had the same thing with that fucking Sugar, right? Like, I was like,
Sugar. Oh God.
I was like,
Sugar.
oh, she's so icky, and I wouldn't go into private hangouts that I like to go into because she was in there. It's just like, and then a month later, oh, that was so juicy. Oh, so good, so good.
Just give me 5 minutes.
I will never forget that TST of her.
I just rewatched it recently.
And the baby.
And the baby crying. Just like, I just kept like fucking just,
that was
freak out,
all right.
Take care of the baby.
That is the only TST where the words came out of my mouth. Can you put down the baby?
Put down the baby.
Can you stop shaking the baby?
Come on. How about, get off the internet and take care of the baby?
I would say, if anything, I was probably one of the last people to fall out with Steve. And that was only recently on Twitter that he finally just decided to block me because I wasn't willing to indulge his constant subject changing as I was trying to address a point. But I'm also a pretty easygoing guy. I'm also a pretty easygoing guy, so like it takes a lot to like offend me.
I'm surprised you're Trash Panda. I didn't know you were Trash Panda because I remember you, Scott. Like,
oh, you didn't know he was Trash Panda?
I didn't know that was Trash Panda. No.
He's like the last man standing, tolerating Steve. They finally got the axe. Chess has been wanting to axe him for so long.
Oh yeah, no, Chess hates me, which I mean the feeling's mutual, so that's fine. There are few people I dislike more than Chesh.
So
in your to dislike or like, she's such a bland little. I don't get like, and why would anybody that's like Red? Like I get like, yeah. If you, I don't know, is there a condition in which you have to constantly like express your admiration for somebody? Like I don't know, because I don't know how anybody stands around Steve because it was. I just want to say, when he first came up, right, he had his own channel and he would have hangouts that, revived the whole creationist thing. And I was really not excited, but, like that was entertaining. But immediately, I think it was around G-Man. Just, I said that, I did that. Oh, I knew that. And it was like, oh my God, like and just in hangouts with just, no Christians in there. Just somebody would say something. It's like, I know that. Like, wow. Like, and I guess that Chess Reds that like, I wanted to admit something though. I have never been so wrong about a human being on the internet.
Rev? With Rev?
Than Red. Right. Like,
Red's rhetoric.
Red's rhetoric. Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, people don't always assume the worst, right? Like,
I mean, I never thought that he was like a charismatic, but I did think that he was honest, that he was telling the truth, right? Like this is from the beginning when it was Red Line and stuff, and that he was up front, but man, you just like be careful on the internet, man, because I don't see the attraction between him and Steve. Like now I know that they're both like rotten people, but
You're the same person.
yeah,
in so many
Steve's
ways.
got a beard and old and ugly, and I don't know what Red looks like, but he doesn't look like he has an old ugly beard.
Red looks scrawny and afraid.
He looks like the Tiger King, Joe Exotic. He looks exactly like the Tiger King. I swear. I'm not. That's not a meme.
Not skinny. He's got to be skinny. I mean, that's what everybody says. Red is skinny.
He's super skinny. Yeah.
I agree with Hillary. I agree with that assessment.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. Like that's right, Hillary.
Okay.
Like I misjudged. Like he's the person I misjudged so much. Like the worst on the internet, right? And yeah, I mean,
I'm not
it
gonna
didn't
lie.
take long once he was around Steve for his and that whole trip to California and stuff. So there was that. Which I would love to see that tape there, the video you made, Spatula. I just would love to see that. Just
Reds is someone that I brag a little bit. I had him pegged from the get-go. One of like the first time I listened to one of his videos, it's like, boy, he is trying so damn hard to seem like a tough guy.
Yeah, that's
like trying way too hard.
Oh, yeah.
That is something maybe I saw, but I just didn't peg him as and you laugh as dishonest, right? Like I just thought no matter what kind of shit he like, striving to be tough guy and all that. I got a gun in here, whatever. But at least I didn't see him as dishonest. And wow, so that's why sociopaths are dangerous.
Oh yeah. I will say, even having that first impression, the funeral trip was a surprise to me. Like,
yeah,
that's like, wow, how non-functional do you have to be to think that telling everyone you're going to be an asshole up front is going to excuse anything?
Yeah, right. Like, well, yeah, I think that is like the tough guy front, right? Like,
right? Like, if I tell you I'm going to punch you in the face and then I do it,
so
that doesn't somehow make it okay that I did that.
Yeah.
And informing me that you're gonna punch me does not make it like I've accepted that as a fact that was just gonna happen.
But what you described recently as him saying, it was on the Evans, Requiem, and I guess
Ethan.
Hannah's.
Ethan.
And the description of him at Jade's friends and family's wake,
Rude as
gathering.
fuck. He was rude
And
as
sat
fuck.
outside and didn't shake hands. Oh my God.
So
when I didn't say shake hands when I was 14 and suicidal, and my mother introduced me to somebody and I didn't shake their hand. My mom had a cow. But yeah, I mean, wow, that is just wow. Don't go there then. Don't go, right?
Right. Yeah, that's my feeling is like, why or go by yourself. If you don't want to deal with anyone,
go
don't
to the
travel with the
grave or
group
go to
and
the
then put yourself in the middle of shit.
Well, that was unfortunate because Jade's friends took a big risk having a bunch of strangers at their house in the wake and stuff like that, and just it was just shocking. Just the whole like, normally you go, thank you for having this, or like she meant a lot to me, and obviously she made a lot to you, or there's something that's generally a kindness and a basic thing, and to snub them was really bizarre, and it was something I didn't understand. I even tried to coax him to go in, actually, because at the time he would talk to me a little bit, and he was not the stupid drone thing. He did the drone thing, which was stupid, but he was sitting there in the courtyard, and I was talking to him.
Was flying a drone during that?
Yeah, he did.
Right?
Yeah, but like it was either before or after we were talking with him, and I asked him, I said, do you want to go in and at least say hi to her friends? And I tried to coax him to go in, and he said he couldn't be around whoever was in there. So whether it was Hugh, Drag, or JD, probably one of those three.
And why go to a gathering?
But like it's not like anybody's gonna jump on you when you go enter the building. You go and you talk to the people.
It's Red has the same problem that Negs has, where he really overblows in his head just how much energy people want to put into him that don't like him. Like Negs, no one's going to your house to kick your shit in because no one hates themselves enough to go to your dirty ass house.
I have to explain really
projection.
quick. I have to explain. When we say negs over in this sphere of the community, we are never talking about negative exponents. Negative exponent seems like a cool dude to me. We like him just fine. We are talking about NEGZ, who is a redneck weirdo that is locked in battle with folks like Dragnot, and he is a defender of people like Shanty for Christ and other shitlords like that.
When they pay him.
Yeah, when they pay him. So like we are never talking about that other neg. So like just so we're clear, I have to make that important
I
distinction.
don't know if anybody else watched that stream that Laura was talking about with Raspberry, and then Phony Video Maniacs, and then Jade comes in and they laugh. Oh my God, she laughed so hard. I never heard her laugh like that. And it was good. It was like the last hour of that was just laughing. It was really good.
Right.
People should check that out.
Yeah, I just want to clarify we're not talking about negative exponents. So
Yeah, no, definitely not him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole,
Though if you want
anybody that they jumped on that with Drag and Miss Parker, like they jumped on it. It was so I never said, like, when I first heard things of it, I thought, yeah, that's going to be a bait. That's not true. Like, that's like, it's so stupid. Like, and it shows just how much these people don't pay attention to what we say or care about who we are. Because if they cared a little bit, just a tiny inch of who Drag is, they would have never bought that lie, It's so fucking weird. And G-Man for all these years, and he still doesn't. I don't know if he fell for it, but
I can't listen to G-Man for very long. Even when Drag is reviewing him, just the little bit I listen to, like I can't express just like how frustrated and angry I get just listening to him aggressively not understand anything.
He's so aggressive to not aggressively not understand. Yeah, I mean, his life's mission to not understand or learn anything. G-Man is the worst for me. Like, he is such a terrible, terrible, rotten human being, and I think that it is his interpretation of his Bible that has corrupted him and his thinking, and he just can't thought process at all. He's really corrupted inside. And G-Man.
We're still talking about?
Yeah.
The Bible's an excuse.
No. I think that he totally believes it. I think he interprets it in a way in which it's corrupted. It has corrupted him. And I don't think he was a good person before that, probably. But I absolutely believe he's a believer. I think that he believes when he uses the Bible as an excuse, he immediately can turn it on as the reason, as a truth. Like, this is and he believes it full-heartedly. Like, and that's the corruption, right? Like, that he can twist anything around to fit a new interpretation of some passage or something.
See,
and
I would wager if you pull the Bible out of that equation, you would get the same bullshit with
absolutely.
different branding.
No, absolutely. And when I say it corrupted him, it corrupted the person. He would be a different kind of asshole right now without the Bible.
I don't think he'd be any less of what he is. I just think he has an excuse that he's hiding behind.
Yeah, I mean, that implies that he doesn't believe his Bible, but I think he does.
I'm not saying he doesn't believe the Bible. I'm saying that the Bible is a tool he uses the Bible as a tool to justify everything he does. And that without the Bible, he would still be doing that.
That's why I said, in any given situation, he will interpret it, on the fly, interpret some passage to mean, like, everything he does, like the whole thing. What was it? Like, not that recently, but the thing with oh God, let me think. God, talk amongst yourself. I gotta think of what it was, because everything he does, everything he promotes. Oh, what was it? I forget now. It was within the last year, and something he was sticking to, and he sticks to a thing that's obviously not true and ridiculous and absurd. because he can't be wrong, right? And the Bible can't be wrong. And
He has a vested interest in construing everything to be in his favor.
yeah, and what is that vested? Like, there's nothing in it for him. Like, he is such a loser on all counts. You know, his channel, his thing, is everything he does and says, and you know, the fucking Israelites and stuff. Everything he does is fail. And so, what is the vested interest? That's why I think it's so internal and
Well,
emotional.
Lulu, the fact that he thought of doing a pre-trial for Jade and or DPR Jones really says everything you need to know about his grasp of the Bible.
Yeah, of course. Like, and he got that idea from Rand, and that whole thing was so ridiculous. But I mean, like, oh god, what
I thought it was Vaughn that gave him the idea, but maybe Vaughn just egged him on.
Because somebody brought it up recently. Oh, and G-Man said, you know, believes this, but they took it. Oh, I can't remember, so I'm going to shut up about that.
Well, I mean, it to make it worse, it's like you're saying you're doing a pre-trial for someone who's died. Now, I'm not an expert on Christian theology. I just went to Catholic school for a lot of years. But I was under the impression that once you die, you go get judged. So
But
what's
his
the pre-trial
interpretation
for?
of that, you know, judge not or ye shall be judged, is completely G-Man focused, right? Like, I want to judge people, so I'm going to interpret it as I'm allowed to judge non-Christians, and because he needed that for his fucking, you know, if you're an atheist, you're your own God, and you're your final judge, so therefore you're God, and now you're not an atheist anymore.
So what I'm fascinated with these folks, like, what's fascinating is like the judge not, yes, lest you be judged. It's not saying like don't protect yourself. You know, like if somebody's committing theft, to just continue, allow them to commit theft, or somebody's abusing you, you know, continue to let them abuse you. And so obviously we need to be able to judge right from wrong, but it seems like we're not supposed to cast this cosmic justice that only God can cast.
I mean,
and that's what the
their
pretrial kind of does, right?
By that logic, wouldn't all of the epistles have to be called into question?
Well, yeah. I mean, Paul was pretty judgy.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to throw them out because I don't really much care for them, but they're
behind it is that everybody has a chance to be saved. So don't judge them and try to help them. Is my interpretation of that. That's my
I
general.
take that for things like don't go around telling everyone they're going to hell, this and that. But at the same time, I don't think it's meant to say don't criticize someone misbehaving.
Yeah. But he
Also-
recently changed it. Like, he was like, when he does his, like, his intro is so annoying.
I would love to know what G-Man's interpretation of the story of the Good Samaritan is about.
Because it's probably wrong. Like most
Well,
people.
right, because it kind of completely flies in the face of the narrative he tries to hold about how atheists should be viewed.
Yeah, but the Samaritans weren't atheists.
Yeah, they were an opposing religion, which in
May
a
as
way,
well
like,
be,
is,
for G-Man's purposes.
so like if I put my
if you're a God believer, as individuals say,
If
then
I
he,
put-
he will give you a length of rope, right? But the Samaritans weren't atheists, and also they were. You know, I've heard an interpretation of that passage that is really interesting, and is not what, you know, the Good Samaritan. It's not what generally is thought to be this interpretation, anyways. That it's actually, when Jesus says, look at what the Samaritan did, it's actually like, can you believe a Samaritan would do that? Samaritan of all people?
Well, no,
There
it's
are people
they didn't like
directly
them.
contrasting the fact that
Yeah.
Jewish religious leaders saw the guy and just went, not my problem, and walked on.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
it's that contrast that he's trying to
But
emphasize
there's a
in
lot
the
of
story.
things you can, like,
Where-
I think the whole turn the other cheek is part of the cult. Like, right? Like, don't
I think turn the other cheek is an insult. So the reason why I think it's an
it's
insult
really
is
not a good
if
thing to
if
apply.
Lulu hits me and I turn the other cheek, what it's telling Lulu is you bother me so little that you can
No,
take
no,
another
no.
shot at me.
Nah, see that.
It's an insult.
Because isn't it literally
And you
like
have to, if you strike with the right hand, then you have to backhand the person on the other side of the cheek.
right? So what it said, turn the other cheek and let them hit you again is another way of looking at it, and it's also be submissive and do what we say.
Yeah, I don't
And
take it
don't
that way.
argue.
I take it as you matter so little.
I want to put
Yeah, I
forward
mean,
that
see, but that's the trouble with the Bible, right? Like I see this other interpretation as if somebody hits you, turn the other cheek and let them hit you again is the unsaid sentence. And that's awful. That's an awful thing to live by. You know, you should be strong and not let people hit you for no reason. And because it's just out there, it's just thrown out there and individually, like, if somebody hits you, turn the other cheek.
G-Man
Why?
does not have a
Why?
coherent. I'm answering Misha real quick. G-Man's theology is not coherent or cohesive at all, but he is not a Calvinist. That would be Beckel. And Beckel is like the worst Calvinist on earth. There's so many holes in his theology.
Well, there has to be, doesn't there? Like, Calvinism is just the worst. Like, I don't believe that any Calvinist. They always claim that they don't believe that they're in the 1400 or whatever the number, but I know they all do. They all believe, because otherwise you can't function. You can't function.
That's not requirement of Calvinism. That would be a requirement of Jehovah's Witness. Calvinists don't believe that the 1400 are the only people that'll go to heaven. That's something that Jehovah's Witnesses believe. And then everybody else that doesn't make that cut goes to the paradise. That's what Jehovah's Witnesses believe. And then other people go, well, I don't know what it means, and then they debate it back and forth about that 1400 in the Bible.
Believe?
They believe that your good is never good enough, that you are a sinful and wretched creature, that God created you with a nature, and in that nature, that's what you're subject to, and that some people are doomed from the womb in that nature, and that God does not choose you. And the only way that you could possibly choose God is by the wooing of the Holy Spirit and God softening your heart and choosing you and then calling you to accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior. Otherwise, your heart will be hardened and you're created for eternal torment. The end. Have a nice day.
Yeah, go ahead.
G-Man, the fact that he constantly had to push this rhetoric that atheists all believe they're their own gods, which is bizarre. To me, having seen him do things like decide he's going to host a pretrial, to me, it screams projection.
Well, and it's not even his own idea. It's not even his own idea. He's not the first person to do that. The first person to do that was Ramcam.
Yeah. That was
he
pretty
stole
the
the
fact that
idea.
he went along with the idea.
Well, yeah, like he's an idiot, but we all
Well,
knew
it's
that.
more than just stupidity; it's dishonesty.
Then
I mean,
also, G-Man is a walking projection. You know.
yeah, he does project a lot. We could probably use him to give PowerPoint presentations.
Here's what blows my mind. Even in my most fundamental self, like when I was a Calvinist, and I believed that, what are you going to do? You all have to submit to God's will. He's the author of all eternity. He knows the beginning to the end, and kind of this thing. I was uncomfortable with this idea that God chooses some and not others. And I was not certain about my own self, and it worried me. But also that being said, even in my most stringent, most fundamental self, I never was gleeful about the idea of somebody suffering for all eternity.
Right? Oh my God, G-Man lives in that glee.
And Shannon does too. I can't wait for God's justice and you all burning in the lake of fire. And I'm like, you want people to be eternally tortured because they're mean to you on the internet?
I mean, yeah, and plus, people who think that Beckel is, he's calmer and more, rational. No, I watched the hangout where somebody asked directly and finally got an answer. And it said, but Beckel, what if your aunt, your sister, your mother are burning?
That's in my hangout.
How will you feel about that? And he said, I will be dangling my feet, something like that, off the cloud in heaven and laughing. It was like, whoa. Oh my God, you guys are terrible people.
It's in my hangout where there's a debate against Calvinism and Arminianism, And he quotes a quote by Jonathan Edwards, who's a old school, fire and brimstone preacher. And Jonathan Edwards says, you're not going to be sad that your grandmother's in hell or your dearly beloved family members are in hell, because you're going to have such a deep understanding of God's justice. And you're going to see God's justice being on that you're going to actually cheer God on the judgment of your own family. And then we tried to explain how that makes God a sociopath and you a sociopath, and he just couldn't understand it. He could not understand.
He could not.
So I've even put it in terms of this, like saying, what if God chose you, you went to heaven, but your daughter went to hell? Would you cheer her on in her eternal suffering?
Yeah.
And he says, well, I'd have to, and I'm sure that I have like a renewing of the mind, and like,
they give up the choice, right? They give up the responsibility of that by saying the idea that once you're there, you'll totally understand God's plan, and you'll totally you can't help but cheer God on and burning your daughter forever and ever. It is a giving up the responsibility of such a horrible thing. But Beckel is anybody who believes in eternal damnation is, that's got to be. I think that most, maybe I'm making, because I can't hold it in my head, that thought, but I think most people don't really understand that consequence, and believe that their loved ones will be in heaven.
Well, I think what most kinder fundamentalist people or people that believe in conditional salvation or eternal punishment, I think they believe that this is a fate that could befall almost anybody, and that it's so simple to escape this fate, by accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior. And they believe that God makes himself known to all men, and so they kind of have this weird hope for that. But most people I know don't want people to burn in the lake of fire unless they're Hitler. Maybe Hitler, Well,
I think that even I would have a problem watching anybody burn eternally. I couldn't fathom it. And I think that a lot of people haven't given that a lot of thought. But I also, I want to understand, I find it funny how the born again Christians in America, the Protestants in America made it so it's by belief only, no works. And I just thought, how much can you slim down your religion until, it's so simple, right? I'll just believe, which isn't all that simple. I get it, but you don't have to do anything good. You can just keep believing, and G-Man uses this over and over. But I repent in private. And I say sorry to people in private, in private hangouts with Beckel, right? When he called, what's her face? He called her a racist when she came in, she was Jackie, and she started crying, and he managed a slight apology, but all of it.
Even Beckel wouldn't back him on that one. Beckel was sitting there I don't know, man. You sure about that?
But Beckel was such a pussy on the confrontation.
That was the only time I saw Beckel ever dare to say anything contrary to G-Man. And that was the very thing. I don't know, dude.
Man managed a slight apology that, the whole I'm sorry, but so many times they have fucked with people, right? And they have done bad things, and but it's okay because they had their Christian community you're rebuking in private, but that is not social. That is not how you react in culture.
I have this theory, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe we can discuss this, because this also kind of doesn't just extend to religiosity. It can extend to why people are conservative versus liberal. I have this theory that people are basically good with exceptions. There's exceptions to the rule, and there are some people that make choices that kind of go down this really bad path, right? But generally, I'd say the majority of people are basically good. If your kid is hungry, you're going to feed them, most people. And there's these exceptions and outliers, right? So we have these rules and laws with these, things like that. But if your Christian religion, and you can divide Christianity into different sections, but what you should ask each Christian is, are people basically good or basically evil? If the Christian says, you and I are born in the image of God and there's good in you, that Christian is more likely going to come out as like a Mr. Rogers Christian, like somebody that generally is a good person, like that kind of guy. If the Christian says you are a worthless piece of trash and all your good works are dirty rags to God's goodness, and if the
You're
Christian,
born that way.
which is a Bible verse in Ezekiel,
What was
not
it
Ezekiel,
again?
Isaiah, it's in Isaiah. Your good works are nothing but filthy rags. If they say there's no good in anybody, we're all terrible people, and they focus in on that and not who you're created to be, but maybe like if they think that your very essence is evil and that everybody's evil, then like their worldview is gonna be kind of following suit.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get either an overzealous Christian that is I don't smoke, I don't chew, I don't hang with those that do, kind of the Bible thumper that just is so uptight about everything. Or you're going to get this lax Christian that's like, we're all scumbags, let's scumbag it up, like what you see with Negs, or what you see with Negs or Revelation News, this pieces of shit. And they celebrate it. So how you view people, I think, especially in that religious site, matters, but I also see it in the political sphere as well. Like conservatives generally think that people are bad, like overall, and there are some exceptions, and liberals think that people are good. And
liberals can suck it because I'm an anarchist and a socialist.
so like, and I'm not saying that like. Here's what's weird.
No, I'm just kidding.
People are kind of both,
but
right?
I know what you're saying. Yes.
People are kind of both, but like I think that most people, and I hope that most people want to be basically good overall.
I think most people do. I think you left out a category because most people are good, and the Christian who says, we're born in the likeness of God, so they see good in people. Then there's the opposite of that. And I think that somebody who sees evil in everybody is yes, you can have the lazy Christian, but there's also the psychopathic. Like if you see humanity as evil, well, then you're not going to treat evil bad.
So
I think there's another category of, oh my God, I forgot. Oh, it was such a good point. I was going to solve world hunger. Damn, I forgot. Okay, so I'm old. Remember that. You may have forgotten, but I'm really old, so I get to forget things. I just want to say, I actually went, like my daughter about a month ago, I did the whole, that guy in the movie, the movie that, the guy.
I do that all the time.
Oh my God, I did the little lady.
I'm only 40 and I'm already there.
You're just a baby. No, you're not already there. No, like I, 50, 20, 58. Yeah, so I get to forget things. I remember like that it was a cliche, the guy in the movie, that guy.
So Trash Panda said something in chat. Were you trying to read that or?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to read this quote off. It's Alexander Solzhenitsyn. I'm not trying to pronounce that. That could be it. Yes. Yeah. And the quote is, if it were all so simple, if only there were evil people somewhere insidiously committing evil deeds, and it were necessary only to separate them from the rest of us and destroy them. But the line dividing good and evil cuts through the heart of every human being. And who is willing to destroy a piece of his own heart? And that is something I believe is very much true.
Yes, and that's the category people left out, because you said you had, people are basically good and they strive to do good things that we all agree are good. And there's the Christians who believe you're born in evil and that, we really can't.
It's more than just that.
And then there's the people, and they might strive to get along and go along, but then there's the people who just do bad things because it's in their nature. I do believe that some people, those are the exceptions. That some people
Some
do
people are
bad things.
sociopaths and psychopaths.
Yeah,
for
well, some
sure.
people do bad things because they're bad people, and some people do bad things and they're good people, and all around. But there are people who just do bad things because
I think I think
I-
Scott was trying to get to a point. No.
Right. I have one. I'll circle back to something else at the moment about psychopaths and sociopaths because I do have some thoughts about that. But right, people like G-Man, people like Steve McRae, people like Shani and Rev, they're always pushing this idea that there are these evil people out there that are out to get them constantly.
Yeah.
It is fundamental to their rhetoric. It's
Well, it has to
necessary
be
for
those
them because if they didn't believe that, then they might actually have to turn and look inwards,
Right, exactly.
and they won't do that because that's uncomfortable. So instead, there have to be these evil people out doing evil things that makes everything they've ever said and done completely justified.
Right.
Now, to circle back to the whole
Yeah,
psychopath,
yes,
sociopath, I'm just going to throw out there, my best friend has ASPD, antisocial personality disorder, and I genuinely consider him a good person. He has his battles with it, and there are some things that he'll say that, like, it's not going to connect for some people, but I don't like writing people off with like
No, no,
terms
no.
like psychopath and
No,
sociopath because it's so much more complicated than that.
I want to say when I throw out the word sociopath, it depends on when I'm using it, so maybe I should stop using it so much. But I don't write off people with disorders, and that's not the people in their nature to do bad.
There are
I
some
think
people that have
like G-Man,
narcissism. There are
who
some people with
does that.
narcissism that try to battle it, right? That try to find an outlet that's less destructive.
Right, and there are people with
Yes.
ASPD who go to therapy and work on things so that they
Yeah,
can
they
function
find
with
some
people and it's
tools.
fine. So just writing someone off as a sociopath or a psychopath is using those kinds of terms is in a way almost trying to remove responsibility from them.
Yeah, and also, like I said, people in their nature, right? So they don't have I don't think that G-Man is a sociopath. I think that he's a bad person. I think
No,
that
he's
a really
got
bad-
way too much guilt that can be played on if you know what to say for him to fit that.
So,
Yeah,
so
and then,
Hillary says using good and bad in the conversation can be dangerous. I agree. It can be like very black and white thinking.
I understand that, Hillary. I think that G-Man is a bad person.
I don't look
Straight
at Steve McRae and say everything about Steve is evil. Like I can
Yeah.
actually probably name
Well,
some
evil,
good.
like, I think that
I
he is
can
a
name
corrupt and
some
bad person.
I can name some good traits that Steve has. That like he's opted to take a higher road every so often. And I've witnessed that. I can't say that that doesn't exist. So like
Well-
I don't think everybody
Yeah,
is
no.
all evil or
Okay,
all
so
bad.
what's good about G-Man? What is a good trait?
I don't want to discuss G-Man. I think he's pretty vile.
Cop out. Okay.
No, I'm
get
not
it.
saying that there's an excuse for everybody. I'm saying like McRae is actually one where he might have a couple redeeming qualities somewhere.
Yeah, I think though mature and immature doesn't quite cover it, right? Like
No, it doesn't, because immature is sort of an excuse too, right? Like if somebody
Right.
is, for instance,
I just
on a-
haven't
on
grown
a
up. I'm stunted.
yeah, or they're emotionally immature. Like we kind of sometimes try to
But
make
you know
room
they've
for
had
that.
enough time to get over it, right? And get with the program. Like
I
stop
mean,
being
the
a bad
fact
person. Stop lying.
the fact is that labels like good and bad it's not even that they're dangerous. They're not particularly useful.
Yeah, it's hard to.
Because you still then need to break down. Well, why are
That's
they
why I
good?
used to
Why are
hate
they
it.
bad? Like it doesn't
too
say
big.
anything.
Yeah, it's well, it says that there's a set of behaviors you don't like. So then you have
It
to break it
expresses
down.
your opinion. It expresses a qualitative assessment.
Well, that's why when I talk about G-Man, I use the word bad on purpose. Like I agree with Hillary. They are very black and white and very simplistic. But that's why I use it, because there's no other way that I can express my feelings. Like I believe that he is everything that incorporates bad and in people and how they treat other people. right?
Here's
I mean, he doesn't go. He's not a serial killer and all that shit, right? It's not like
You can
that.
go worse. You can
It's
go much
every
worse
day,
than G-Man.
the word to word, everything he ever does and every hangout
Yeah,
he's ever been in
he's not
is
even
to
the
hurt
worst.
other people and to try to triumph
He's a malicious son of a bitch, but like
malicious. That's good.
He's self-centered. He's selfish. He's
unself-aware.
right, a complete, total lack of self-awareness. And I mean, like every Fundy, there's no input jacks.
I'm more interested in the people that could do better, and I think that's why I'm harder
Oh,
on
that's
McCrae.
interesting. 'Cause it's so Christian.
So
Yeah.
McCrae could do better.
No, he can't. Not anymore.
Yes. Well,
I
mean,
guess he could.
If
I think
he
he
could
could do better.
just learn to take some criticism,
Yeah, but
he'd come a long way.
I think that would that is the main thing, right? He can't laugh at himself and he can't take criticism and he needs validation all the time. Those three things combined are a super thing, hurdle to get over.
Yeah, but when I
And
look at G-Man, I think
good.
this is the best that he's gonna get. If
Yeah.
anything, he's gonna get worse. Like I just don't.
That's
I don't see him.
Yeah, no, I don't see
No, because it would
potential for
take too
growth
much,
in G-Man.
If you want G-Man to act better, you just leave him the fuck alone.
Yeah, but yeah.
I don't know. It's not when he starts
That
acting out
is
and looking
not
for
ha-
attention.
That is, for some reason, all these years, how many times, after the chocolate ate, just gonna leave him alone. It was a pact, but it never happened. I don't know what it is, but people can't. And I have gotten to the point, like you, Scott, like I've never listened to his videos on their own, right? I've always listened to commentary ones, but even that now, I can watch maybe if Drag and certain people are in the hangout with him, I can watch that, right? Like live interaction.
But there's
even
something.
the commentary thing is
There's something with his brain, with G-Man, that like I don't know if he had fetal like alcohol syndrome going on or what, but there is something there that limits his ability to understand things. He has no ability to have nuance. He has no ability to
metaphors, similes.
No, and
Yeah,
he has no
skill with abstract
introspective.
thinking.
He can't
He
be
can't-
introspective. No.
Yeah, no, he can't think abstractly at all.
That is, now that you say that, damn. Damn.
Where Steve has the signs of being able to, at least, even though he might be pathological, like as a like making up things, but he has some of that ability where, and I think that's why I hold them in different standards. I can't stand G-Man. I can't. But I think there's a reason why I leave him the fuck alone.
Well,
I mean, he's a waste of time.
I'm just a lurker.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, I've done battle with him. It lasted like 6 months, and it culminated into, it so happened that the death of my friend died, and then like he made fun of her and said that she was burning in hell. He's a piece of shit. Like,
Oh my God. Did he know your friend?
yeah, it was Jade. Jade died.
Okay.
And
yeah.
and
That's the thing, right?
we were in like a 3 to 4 month battle going back and forth about LGBTQ issues. That's when he made that video, Holy Spackle's Afraid of a Man, and that he was going to go to my house and beat me with a belt. And then Jade was trying to take some heat off of me, and she's just like, yeah, instead of like that. And I'm like, you know what? Like, this piece of shit. Like, and then we asked him, like, she's not feeling so hot. Maybe like we didn't know she was sick or anything, but like we asked him to lay off, and he was like, no, I'm going to go in even harder. And then after she died, he goes on to say that she's burning in hell because she's a lesbian.
That was the start of Drag. Like, okay, that's it. I'm done.
And then the summer of G-Man began.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like this piece of shit.
I
like,
relished it.
I don't want anything to do with him. Like I don't. Where McCrae. My hope is maybe someday McCrae will wake up. Maybe.
Well, I don't care either way. Like, he can fuck off. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
Or-
he is somebody that I don't like. Even if he like, hey, look, I don't need validation anymore, and I'm totally. But he was a little bit better when he first came out. I think I find him like just, boring.
All right.
And I don't know what it is. The whole summer of G-Man with Drag was just, I paid for him, Drag, to do this one video. It's just like, get him, finally. I relished it. I could taste it. It was just so good. And he totally deserved everything. And I just want to say too, Shani and Rev getting on that train track thing. Oh my God. It was all these years of you atheists, you suck, blah, 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 blah. Oh, the karma, which I don't believe in, was so good. I told my real life people about these two and showed them the house and showed them the train track thing. And to a person, all of my friends said, why don't they get out here? They should get out and see what's happening. Yeah. But no, it's so good. That was so good. That made up for a lot of because, it's not, I don't take it personally, but after fucking 11 years of hearing atheist bad, you guys are bad and we are good. And now we're lost in a tube. It was so good. I still laugh.
I think people can be bad no matter what moniker they're holding. What were we gonna say? All right, Trash Panda.
My stomach's kind of acted up on me, so I'm actually gonna step out, guys.
Yeah, I think it's
see it.
It's what is it? It's 1:15 here in the morning.
Yeah.
Jibbity. It's only 7:15.
Yeah, I'm in Europe.
All right. Well, catch you guys later. This was fun.
I use that all the time. I never heard.
It's good to see you, Scott. All right, I'm gonna close out. Lulu, it was great seeing you. Scott, it was great seeing you. I'm gonna.
It's good to talk to you.
Yep, I'm gonna remove you from Hangout just so I can say a couple things, and then I'll head out. All right. So yeah, I don't like engaging with G-Man. I said that I would stop. I fuck him. There's plenty of people that you can watch G-Man content on. Drag, Miss Parker, they can all handle him. But if you want to laugh at Chesh, I'm all about it. So that being said, I don't know what level you have to get to where I will stop talking about you, but it's a special level. So I don't know, really, truly. I think the reason why I say that is because I had hoped that he was better than what he actually was. And even with, I'll just try to explain my comment on McCrae. Even during the David Earl Worden stuff, at the very beginning of it, before he made that weird defense of him, I was hoping that he would be like, you know what? I platformed him because of an auditor situation. I am not making a determination on his guilt or innocence. Like if he had taken some sort of ground and not doubled down on the honorable man thing, and then I believe him and all that kind of stuff, it just would have been a whole different situation, I think. And I think many of us actually didn't go, ha, you platformed this guy, now we got you, McCrae. Like he's imagining, I think is happening is, it was, look at this guy, this is really serious. You should probably ought not, bring him on. And he's got stuff coming down the pipeline as a warning. And I think people expected McCrae to take heed, even if it was, from somebody that was on the other side of the wall of that he's built, So it's too bad. The Railroad Adventures, the Railroad Adventures is hilarious. If the kids weren't involved, absolutely it'd been funnier. Absolutely. That if you didn't know, Lulu is a punk rocker indeed, and she's been part of the GDC for ages. And by GDC, I don't mean like Steve's GDC, but the Great Debate, like community and like all the social groups for like ever, along with Jello and many other folks. Hillary is absolutely right. She was one of the first people to call out McCrae. And it was a big to-do, and people did take swings at Hillary for that. I remember that. Hindsight is 20/20, right? As they say. But yeah, I don't like chess either, but man, I think it's hilarious. Let's see here. Government hacking the brain. Yeah. So on that note, I guess I'm gonna head out. Appreciate everybody coming in. This stream was kind of all over the place. Um, um, I enjoy talking to people and getting different people's perspectives. It's been kind of interesting to see a merge of social groups coming in and out. So like, there's folks that have been here forever and have seen all the ins and outs of the great debate community. There's been lurkers. There's been folks that are newer to the community that actually watch drag and the lulz cow and the reaction community. And then we have folks that are, secular opinion kind of folks that, watch all the Von Helton stuff. And then we have Unirock folks coming in as well. And so we have a lot of multi-community participation. So I appreciate everybody's patience. Sometimes we may talk about things that are way back when. So if you have a question about it, you can always ask in a comment and I can try to give you the best answer I can to help explain for context, because I know that sometimes it's all over the place here. So thank you for popping in. I like doing these old school hangouts where people just kind of speak their mind or whatever. I'd like to do maybe some more pointed conversations and maybe set up a panel. That'd be kind of fun. And we could talk about certain things, certain subjects. But I miss that old school people can come in and say whatever. And there's no like talking head requirement. There's no like need for like how many subs do you have, or no need for do you have a PhD? So like I enjoy having just ordinary hangouts where people walk in and out and have something to talk about, and they float everywhere. But appreciate you coming in. So that being said, I am tired and rambly. I did work today and then I did this right after. So appreciate you guys popping in, and I'm going to head out. Till next time. Goodbye. Oh, really quick. Before you go. Exiled, the beautiful Exiled and I. We will be doing a show together on Exiled's channel. So if you have not subbed to Exiled, please do. Where we're going to be defending victims of Steve McRae's cesspool show. So he's been doing a show that is focusing in on people, and it's called The Cesspool. How lovely of him. Knowing what a cesspool is, that's just lovely. So Exile will be hosting the show that will allow people a space to provide a rebuttal and a voice and a platform. So that way, if it's somebody that happens to be on the cesspool that maybe isn't as platformed or a talking head, that they have a safe place to do a counter opinion. So we do appreciate folks for participating in that. And our show coming up will be with Randolph Richardson. And providing him a space where he can sit with us, and we can help counter some of the shit that Steve flings from cesspool. So, all right. That being said, take care. Be good. Skimming the pool. I kind of like that name too. There's been a lot of name suggestions. That's really funny. All right. Take care, be kind. If you deal with a sociopath out there, good luck, protect yourself, and beware. All right, see ya. Bye.